more original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. Wealthy nations pledge a record release of emergency oil reserves, but that oil still needs to be refined before it gets to consumers. And driver Morgan Howard in Atlanta says of the rising gas prices,
I pay attention to gas. Ridiculous. It's sad.
More from CBS's Linda Kenyon.
The president says he will tap the U.S.'s Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Speaking in Hebron, Kentucky, Trump also announced international action.
The International Energy Agency agreed to coordinate the release of a record 400 million barrels of oil from various national petroleum reserves around the world.
The president added higher prices during the Iran war are temporary.
We got to finish the job.
Iran has attacked commercial ships across the Persian Gulf region, further affecting global oil prices. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Iran is ramping up its drone strikes in the Gulf region as the U.S. and Israel press forward with their efforts to eliminate targets still important to the regime inside Iran. This escalation in fighting has turned into a battle over the Strait of Hormuz. CBS's Matt Gutman in Tel Aviv.
They hit 3 ships passing through the straits. One of them was hit by some sort of projectile. We believe it was a suspected drone that gouged a massive hole in the hull of this tanker. It's sitting in the narrowest part of the Strait of Hormuz right now, still smoking.
Tornadoes have killed at least 2 people in their Lake Village, Indiana home and destroyed buildings in Illinois. Indiana State Police Sergeant Glenn Fifield says first responders were out as soon as possible.
Very dangerous circumstances with live power lines down, going into situations that were very unsafe.
President Trump is pushing Republican senators to pass the SAVE Act. CBS's Caitlin Huey-Burns on Capitol Hill.
John Thune, the Senate Majority Leader, the Republican, has said, statement of fact, the votes just aren't there. You would need Democratic support to pass this. The votes aren't there. There are these calls to essentially blow up the filibuster to pass this legislation, and the votes for that aren't there yet either.
A new study finds that drugs like Ozempic can help diabetic people who have brain cancer.
Researchers used the TriNet X Global Network, a database comprised of 151 healthcare organizations around the world. It found that diabetics whose cancer is spread to the brain can live significantly longer if they are taking a GLP-1 drug. The study found that the use of such drugs is associated with the lower all-cause mortality, which remains consistent across major cancer groups. Allison Keyes, CBS News.
This is CBS News.
Join Adriana Diaz and Kelly O'Grady for the perfect start to your weekend. Ease into your Saturday with CBS Saturday Morning on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
The millionaire's tax passed the House last night. Details coming right up. But first, here's Lori at a busy traffic desk this afternoon.
Yes, it is busy. In fact, eastbound 90 has just reopened, but US 2 and westbound still closed. But US 2 chains are required. Now, we have an accident, 405 at southbound and Southeast 8th in Bellevue, and it's blocking both HOV lanes, so causing about a 9-minute slowdown Linwood into Bellevue. Linwood to Seattle, we're seeing a 13-minute delay, and Bellevue to Federal Way, you ready for this? An hour and 9 minutes. And again, working on that for South Bridge is going to continue all the way through Friday night. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. It took more than 24 hours of debate, but the state house has passed an income tax on millionaires. KIRO 7 reports the final vote was 51 to 46. The bill creates a 9.9% income tax on households earning more than $1 million a year. 8 Democrats crossed party lines to vote no with Republicans. Governor Bob Ferguson called the vote truly historic. The bill now heads back to the Senate for final approval, but even if it passes, opponents are already promising legal challenges. A trip to a Mariners game could cost a little less this year. The team says its 2026 value menu will feature dozens of discounted food and drink items. Fans can grab $5 hot dogs, beers, and other ballpark snacks during every home game. Kent police arrest a 24-year-old suspected rapist wanted in Bothell using their flock safety cameras. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has details.
Bothell police issued a BOLO, or be on the lookout for a vehicle believed to be driven by a rape suspect. Patrol officers in Kent got the BOLO Tuesday afternoon and spotted the car at a local bank. Kent Police Chief Rafael Padilla.
Our officers were out doing their normal patrols, and we locate the vehicle. So our officers move in position, and we were able to get the suspect in custody.
Chief Padilla says the arrest might not have happened as quickly without the use of the controversial flock safety cameras. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
An effort to keep cats warm may have started a fire in Monroe this morning.
One person was trapped inside the home along Chain Lake Drive. A neighbor grabbed a ladder and the person was able to climb out. They suffered smoke inhalation and they got cut by broken glass. The homeowner told crews an electric blanket had been used on a covered patio to keep cats warm. That was in the area where the fire is believed to have started. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
And let's get a check on that weather. Steady rain with increasing wind this afternoon. Very windy toward the end of our evening commute and overnight. We could see downed trees and branches and power outages. Blizzard conditions over our passes. Rainy and 46 right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line.
Yeah.
Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Here we go.
This is actually for Joe. I am a big fan of Joe. I was just wondering if, Joe, you wanted to come down to the Comet Pizza and get some jerky someday.
Oh. What's wrong with that?
Comet Pizza, Pizzagate, jerky, Epstein.
Oh, you all right?
I don't know. That's kind of alarming.
He's inviting you.
I'm going to wear a disguise every day. I leave here.
It's a little weird, huh? The hat doesn't help with the crappy lighting in here.
I like the lighting. It's just dark colors are not.
No, I didn't do anything with my hair today. And then
Yeah,
you yell
put the
at
hat back on. Come on.
Diving
It's just our monitors. The actual stream looks much better.
Do I go
Yeah.
cool kid?
No, no.
Hey, what are you guys doing?
I meant to tell you yesterday your hair looked fantastic.
Well, thank you, Joe. I was weirdly concerned about my looks. All right, I believe we can win. I believe this. There's only 2 pages again. I don't know how you do it. That, between that and all your trips to that pizza place. I don't know how you do it, Joe. Come on, go in the rabbit hole. Here comes everything we think is news. All right, I was thinking. A lot of people are going to get mad at me. So if you do, you want to get mad, scream at me via text. A lot of capital letters and some exclamation points. Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line at 1-888-973-5476 because we sound like we're from Boston when we say 4. 1-888-973-5476. If I get your dander up and you want to question me on some of the things I'm going to say during this monologue, you are more than welcome. And maybe even call in and who knows, huh? Hang on, my butt's ringing. That's nothing important. It's a hemorrhoid. 1-888-973-5476. All right, let's see. This was the day that officially the World Health Organization, while conspiring with China, was able to tell us it was a pandemic that was going to sweep across the country. And I forget the number that they said we're going to die, like 1.4, whatever the ratio was that was just going to wipe us all out. It was a virus that we paid for, and still haven't been able to confirm where it came from. Total cost to the U.S. economy, they say, is $14 trillion and continues to go up.
That was in 2023.
2023, yeah. A devastating effect. Never in the history of man and women walking the earth have they ever done a lockdown before when it came to a pandemic. Never locked it down. Tried something new. And I used to sit here on the air with Tom all the time. Remember that, Andrew? I was like, what about Sweden? What about Sweden? I know, I get it. So what about those guys? They're not doing it. Look at them. Look how they're doing.
I don't want to talk about.
I don't want to get. You know, I'm going to find a different day in history because that's just good. You have to get out the paddles and all that again as well. Plus, the viral video going around about the Simpsons predicting Trump's death. Not true. Don't fall for it. It's in everybody's feed. It is weird how the Simpsons are able to. The show predicts some things, but this one is just it's all just don't fall for it. But Yeah, thank you. But there is concern because 2 giant living doomsday fish have washed up in Cabo.
Oh, 2.
Are you sure those aren't just some Zoftic gals that are enjoying the all-inclusive there at the... No. And then a doomsday plane. What are we even doing? We should be under the table at this point. This is shocking. The end is near, apparently. Plus, the end is near for a lot of folks that are involved with AI because look out, Ryan Clarkson is coming after you from Clarkson Law Firm. He'll be joining us via video. He has sued Meta Glasses for privacy concerns because after workers reviewed nudity, sex, and other footage. How do they find the footage?
That's what they get paid to do. They're contractors based in Kenya, and when they to train their AI, they have to look at your Meta Glasses footage and say, oh yeah, that's a sink or that's a car, and essentially help.
So guy's got a pair of Meta Glasses on, and he's making the beast with one back. Mm-hmm. And then there's guys sitting over there in Kenya or India just watching him.
Yep.
Well, did Ryan Clarkson, the attorney, did he close all that down?
He's working on it.
All right. OpenAI is also being sued for training of ChatGPT for stolen personal data. I ran out of music. I have one more page. Hang on, everybody. Come on. Our friend, the attorney. Remember the case with Chief Diaz? Remember they said, oh, you're sexually assaulted or you were harassing these women and then you were, there's again, with beast with one back with some gal that you created a job for. And then he said, no, I couldn't. No, I didn't. That wasn't me. I'm gay.
But aren't you married with 2 kids?
But doesn't it matter? I'm gay. So I could have done that. That was his excuse. Well, the case is still going on. It's kind of gone quiet for a while. We'll speak with the attorney, Samir Singla, because he has some new information on the allegations regarding Chief Diaz. that couldn't have been me.
And then he breaks it on rants.
Wasn't that the weirdest thing?
That's so weird.
I think he even said, I think he threw in there, I'm Hispanic.
He did.
Yeah. I'm an Hispanic gay male. I couldn't have been having sex with those people. Like, oh, okay, fine. Oh, all right, then, never mind. Plus, Joe says, get out the paddles because I'm going to need to shock myself numerous times because the income tax has passed. Thank you, Joe, for not calling it the millionaire's tax. It's not a millionaire's tax. It's an income tax. And Howard Schultz just happens to time it perfectly. If you want to buy his house, although I looked up online, I talked to a realtor, it's not listed yet. It's under an LLC. I think it was purchased in 1997 for like $2.4 million.
Wait, is it a pocket listing?
No, it's not listed yet. It's on 1.9 acres. It's a beautiful home. And right after the income tax passed, Howard Schultz is like, I'll take my latte to go to Mexico. I'm sorry. Miami. Same thing. Cuba and Miami. Yeah. All right, and a bunch of other stuff. All right. Hang on. I'm trying to remember. Serenity prayer.
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can,
and move to Salt Lake to get the F out of here. So we still have property in Salt Lake, and Nick and I were talking last night, and it's weird. We'd sell the barn, get out of that business, and then go there. The only reason we're not doing this is because of you, Joe.
Me?
Yes, because I could live in Park City. I could travel to Salt Lake. I could do the show from KSL Studios. I could do the whole thing. But I would miss Andrew. I'd miss Nate or Lori or you. I would be in some little box, and I would see you on some little box.
Nope.
So I said to Nick, we can't move there. She says, financially, it would do better for us. We get out of this crazy state that does this stuff because it's only going to get worse. I said, well, what about Joe?
Aw, thanks for thinking of me.
She's like, are you choosing Joe over me? I said, it's not like Joe over. It's just like it's a matter of time, just a little bit longer. Let me just keep doing the show a little longer. But we will leave as others leave.
Sure.
Because I don't want to be in the the crazy house that is becoming the state of Washington. This stuff makes zero sense. Like, I'll begin here. So I don't know when he said this. I'm assuming the governor said this
4 days ago.
Okay, hang on. Let me get rid of this music. 4 days ago he said this? Hang on. Here we go. Listen to this.
And Representative Berg on to work with Senator Riccelli. I'm excited to work with Senator Riccelli and Representative Berg on legislation to ensure that every student, that's 1.5 million. Every student, 1.5 million. Every student. So not just those that make under a certain amount of money, but every student. Even the kids whose parents are greedy and don't pay their fair share. Every student. attending K through 12 public schools receives
government schools
free breakfast and lunch.
Free. There is no such thing as free. In 1917 in Chicago, a bunch of bartenders and saloon owners had to go testify because the government was coming after them and saying, hey, you guys have this sign there at the bar that says free lunch. And they're like, yeah, well, look, it's not really free. The way we set it up is if you buy a drink, then you get free lunch. So it's not really free. And one of them, Mike Malley, said there's no such thing as a free lunch. The reason we want them to get the free lunch, quote unquote, is because then they'll drink more. They'll sit there and eat the sandwich and they'll drink more. But it's not really free. There's no such thing as a free lunch. But apparently the governor doesn't realize that.
It's free breakfast and lunch as part of their basic education.
And the people, his fellow travelers there, I don't know if Republicans as well stood up. They stood up and applauded. Oh, extended applause.
Right now,
I'm assuming when Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kids will go into a bank and rob the bank and then get on their horses and run off somewhere, and maybe the rest of the crew. I'm assuming there's also applause when they spill out the bags and all the cash is there. Same type of applause would occur for robbers.
Right now, if you're a single parent working 40 hours a week, making $19 an hour, your child does not qualify for free meals. That is unacceptable, and that needs to change. This will improve learning for kids and save time and money for working parents.
Okay, so I don't mind. In fact, I'm all in favor of providing a direct subsidy to somebody who's making $19 an hour and they have a child. So that's about $39,000 a year. So here's where the numbers would work out. If they wanted to just feed, so if we have a parent that's not making enough money and we got to feed the kid, then let's feed those kids. So here we go. Here are your numbers, Governor. This would be if you were a responsible governor and these people weren't standing up for this. So how many kids in the state of Washington would fall into that category? I'm giving you rough numbers because you can't get the exact number, but it's about 300,000. 300,000 kids would fall into the category, mom and dad or mom, whatever, living in a household making under $40,000. To feed those kids, by the way, the federal government picks up about 85% of the cost of feeding the kids. About 15% comes from the state. So to feed those kids, the federal government would pay $380 million. That's breakfast and lunch to feed those kids, the ones he's concerned about. But that's not the way it works, because what happens is he wants to feed all of them. So here are the numbers for us in the state of Washington to feed all the kids. 1.5 million kids altogether. Total cost from the federal government is about $35 billion to feed all the kids in all the schools. But for the state of Washington, the numbers work out that it would cost $1.5 billion to feed every kid in the state of Washington. $1.5 billion. And remember, this is money that the government doesn't have. They're just simply adding it to the ongoing bill that is included in the federal debt, which is at this point $11,642 on every single citizen in the United States. So to solve the problem of the kid who's not getting food, whose mom makes $19 an hour, let's feed all the kids. Let's just feed them all at $1.5 million, and it'll end up being total cost to the federal government without the money, because they don't even have the money. Man, oh man, you are so generous. So $1.5 billion. You are so generous, Governor. And the fact that these lawmakers stood up and applauded this, it's just insulting. If you really cared, here's what I would suggest, because, we don't want to, the kids would feel really bad, if they're going up there with a little card that says they get a free lunch. I have a better idea. Why don't you do this? Why don't you take all the money that you run through the programs, because every tax dollar that the government takes in, it takes about $1.50 in order to disperse it. So if you bring in $1, cost you $1.50 to disperse it. You can't, not really doesn't cost effective. How about we just give them the money? Why don't you do this? Just send them the money. By the way, the woman that's making $19 an hour, she is able to apply for a whole bunch of additional federal government programs as well, which add up to about $20,000 to $35,000. She can get all sorts of additional entitlements that come her way. But what you could do is just send them cash, just a cash at the beginning of the year, and they could have it, and you could fire a whole bunch of federal workers and state workers and just inject the cash right to that person. They don't have to worry about it. They could put a little bit away for food, a little bit away for rent. They could take the money. But no, instead, the governor, wanting to make sure that everybody gets fed. We want to make sure every child gets fed in the state of Washington.
And Representative Berg, 12 public schools receives free breakfast and lunch as part of their basic education.
There's no such thing as free. There is no such thing as free. You're going to tax the crap out of people and feed kids whose parents can already feed them. Why? Because what you want to do is you want to make them dependent upon the state. Go back to Otto von Bismarck. He realized, hey, if we can give them free this and free that, we can always count on their vote. And you also are breaking a really sacred bond between a parent and a child. Now the parent has no idea what the kid is eating. We know that they throw out about 40% of the crap that they're fed. They just throw it out because they don't necessarily care. The parent has no idea what they're being fed. All they know is they're sending the kids off to school, and the government, quote unquote, we are feeding them, all of them. It makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. None. But they're applauding it, and that's going to be part of the tax that just went through.
So it would cost...
No, okay, clear. Hold on.
$1.5 billion to feed every kid in the state of Washington.
Yeah.
$300 million to feed the kids that actually need help being fed.
Yeah.
So we would save $1.2 billion.
But it's fed. Don't forget, the reason they're able to get away with this, it's federal dollars. The state kicks in about 15%. But what they have this trick that they do where if the 40% of the kids in the school are getting free and reduced lunch, then the federal government says, well, then we're going to give you more federal dollars. So what they used to do, and they still do it in some states, I think they do it here too, they jack up the number of kids that are on free and reduced lunch. So then the federal government goes, looks like you got a lot of kids that are on free and reduced. We're going to send you more federal dollars. And the school's like, oh, thank you. So you jack that number up, make it look like everybody's poor and starving, and then the federal government pours more federal dollars into that school that they don't have, that they add to the federal debt, that the kid will eventually end up paying for somewhere down the line. But in the meantime, enjoy the chicken McNuggets. It's just wild. It's like, let's just buy everybody a car.
It's funny, too, because everybody gets all upset when this comes up because, John is anti-feeding kids.
I am anti-feeding kids whose parents can feed the kids.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense.
I'm with you.
Why would you do that? Why? We homeschooled the kids for 18 months. As right first that as the time where we were on the rocks when it came to education, we were the derelict. Sinking. We got a note from the school district. Would you like to sign your child up for free or reduced lunch? We're homeschooling them. Yeah. Feed them all. All right. Lori, I'm sorry. Here we go. Let's take a look at traffic, Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by the Seattle RV Show. Eastbound 90 reopened. Chains are required. Westbound still closed. US 2 chains required. And southbound 405 at Southeast State, an accident clearing. It was taking up 2 HOV lanes. Everett to Bellevue now a 35-minute drive. And Everett to Seattle, 39 minutes now. If you're heading out of Bellevue, that's quite a drive to Federal Way at 70 minutes, an hour and 10 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma is an hour and 7 minutes. Don't miss the Seattle RV Show, March 12th through the 15th at Lumen Field Event Center. Shop over 400 new models for every budget and lifestyle. Get tickets at seattlervshow.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Don't wait, insulate. Last year, American Crawl Space and Pest Services gave over $2 million in insulation rebates from PSE, more than any provider in the state. If your home was built before 1990, you're eligible for recouping up to 95% of insulation replacement costs. Insulate with American Crawl Space and keep your home warm during the winter and cool during the summer.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Are you curious about who offers the best deals on top-rated Samsung, LG, and Sony TVs? The answer is surprising. It's not online, and it's not the warehouse clubs. The best deals on top-rated TVs are at Video Only. Don't believe it? Then check out the trade-in deals at Video Only. How about $500 for your old TV? Try doing that online. Before you buy that new TV, drop into Video Only. If you don't, you'll be sorry.
30 years ago, Davis Law Group was founded to be the best law firm for our clients and our community. Our core values are to win, help, and serve. It means our success is defined by the difference we make in our clients' lives and the impact we can have in our community. Not by giant settlement checks or shiny offices. Our mission to lift up the vulnerable extends beyond the courtroom to our charity partners, promoting safety, uplifting students, accident victims, foster youth, and the elderly. If you've been injured and want better results for your claim and for all of Washington, call Davis Law Group today.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Sully here. I help commuters get around, and you know the key to a good commute? A good running vehicle. That means regular service and proper repairs. For this, I recommend Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. For over 50 years, Bucky's has been trusted for honest diagnostics, quality work, and fair prices. Whether it's factory scheduled maintenance, an oil change, new brakes, or a check engine light, don't guess. Visit one of Bucky's 16 family-owned locations or Bucky's.com. That's Bucky's.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from Nunn Better Tax Resolution. What is something someone can do right now to protect themselves from being on the wrong side of the IRS?
It's really pretty simple, and that is do it right. File on time and pay on time. Yet things do get in the way, like we know. And if you have situations where you're feeling a little concerned about what's in your tax return, get some professional help. And there is a group or a class of people that just think they can put anything they want in their tax return. And they think they are being smarter than the government. It's kind of like the person, the narcissist that thinks they're smarter than everybody else and they're going to get away with it. They will maybe for a while, But the time will come. There will be a day of reckoning.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Nunn Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967. Or Google NUNN. Nunn Better Tax Resolution.
High five! Up top! Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Yeah! It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Heck yeah! He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread. Yes! The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Woo! For a limited time, now through March 29th, switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Well, we've had partial shutdowns over Snoqualmie Pass this afternoon because of multiple crashes and spinouts. Washington State Trooper Rick Johnson says people need to slow down because it's snowing hard.
We're expecting it to continue and the wind to come, so we have extra troopers up there managing it.
WashDOT is showing right now that both directions have recently reopened. Washington has already logged 26 cases of measles this year. In all last year, there were 12. Dr. Alex Greninger with UW Medicine says most of this year's cases are in school children.
Vaccination coverage is still too low. We're below the median level in the United States. We're below the level that creates herd immunity.
UW Medicine will soon offer in-house measles testing, which will mean results will come back quicker. There is a concern that measles will spread quickly later this year when big crowds of tourists arrive for events including the World Cup. The Social Security Administration's Inspector General is investigating a potential data breach by a former DOGE employee. More from CBS News correspondent Michael Wallace.
Department of Government Efficiency. DOGE. Perhaps you've heard of it.
A whistleblower claims a former DOGE software engineer bragged about having the sensitive Social Security data of 500 million living and dead Americans on a thumb drive and planned to share the data with the government contractor he now works for. The Washington Post reports the former DOGE employee allegedly told a colleague he expected to receive a presidential pardon if he were ever convicted of a crime. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Well, Washington's gas prices jumped up again. KIRO 7's Dee Sun has details.
$4.72 a gallon is now the average price across Washington state, according to AAA. That is 32 cents higher than last week and 66 cents higher than a month ago.
The average national gas price is $3.54 per gallon. And now let's get a check on that real-time traffic. Here's Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by Wilcox Farms. 405 southbound at Southeast State, still working on that collision in the HOV lanes. Everett to Bellevue, a 22-minute drive. 28 minutes if you're heading from Linwood to Seattle. Bellevue to Issaquah, we're seeing a 5-minute delay. Now, Bellevue to Federal Way, up to an hour and 14 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma is an hour and 21 minutes. If you're heading over eastbound 90, chains required. Westbound still closed. And US 2, chains required. Fresh food comes from local farms. For healthier eggs, times 3 times the omega-3. Choose Wilcox omega-3 eggs at Costco. Locally fresh since 1909. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. Yeah, thanks for clearing that up. I had said both directions of Snoqualmie Pass had reopened, and I was wrong. That's why Lori's at the traffic desk, and I'm not. Steady rain, heaviest Seattle and southward into the evening. Winds will be picking up, becoming very gusty this evening into Thursday morning. Gusts between 40 to 50 miles per hour means downed trees and branches and power outages likely. Steady rain and 46 right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Boom, 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 boom. Home Comfort Alliance. No, I'm not going to do it. We're saving the songs for Buc-ee's. Buggy's Auto Service Center is coming up later with the song, but that's Home Comfort Alliance coming in with the heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. Guys, Home Comfort Alliance, I still need you to get out to the barn. I got to put a generator in. I already checked out the prices and everything. I get all the stuff done by Home Comfort Alliance.
Oh, good.
It's like $7,000 or something.
Wow.
You're in the middle of a wedding and all of a sudden the lights go out or whatever. You can't have that.
Nope.
It's going to increase the value of the place when I go to sell it. And move to Salt Lake to get out of here. It's weird because I don't even really want to know the news because I just see this stuff and you hear that the governor's going to feed all kids regardless of the parents' ability to pay. And then they're going to tax quote unquote millionaires. It's not a millionaire's tax. It's a tax on combined income of a household if you can make more than $1 million. Because you wouldn't if Bob Bobby Bag of Donuts makes $500,000. Is he a millionaire? No. But he happens to be married to Susie Bag of Donuts. The two of them together, beautiful couple. Combined, they make $1.2 million. So the 0.2 is the thing that now the state of Washington says makes you a millionaire, and they're going to get 10% of that. I love how they do 9.9, make it seem like that old trick. Yeah. Well, it's only $4.99. It's not $5, it's $4.99. It's just one more little trick that they do. I didn't get a chance to listen to most of it. At 5 o'clock, are you playing a lot of the hits? Millionaires Tax passes. Howard Schultz announcing he's leaving. He's leaving the state of Washington, go to Miami. This is such a, screw you. Because he announced it right after they passed the thing.
Not a coincidence, right?
No. His house will eventually be for sale. He says he's not moving because of the tax. Just happens to be on the same day that and it's something historic. I saw the governor talk. This is, a lot of days we work here, we don't do historic things. Yeah, it's historic every time lawmakers disregard the Constitution of the state. And I'm torn because I do not want to be. It's like going to a party, and everybody there is moron, or they're all there for like a multi-level marketing. You realize, oh crap, it's one of those what's the names of those parties my wife used to get invited to?
Tupperware parties?
No, it's all the women go to it, and then they end up like spending $80 on a belt that they don't want because their friend is throwing the party. What is that? And Nick always comes to me, what? Oh my God, where'd you get that? Oh, I had to buy that. What's the name of that thing? That's what it's like. You go to this, you don't even want to go. I don't even want to be a part of the state of Washington when these people are in charge. And they applaud the idea of feeding every single kid, even though the parent can afford to feed them. I just asked Nick, I can't remember what that is. Someone's going to text in. It's a cozy something party. Darn it all. Hang on. I'm avoiding talking about COVID.
I know you are.
Hang on. What is today, the anniversary?
Today is the 6th anniversary of actually calling it a pandemic.
Oh. Hey, Nick, what's the name of those parties that you go to and somebody's throwing the party and then you buy like an $80 belt? Cabbie. That's it. Okay, thank you. Bye. Cabbie party.
Never heard of them.
Oh, yeah. You go there, and then they're showing you all the stuff, and you're like, well, I got to buy something. It's something women do.
Sure. Cabbie?
Cabbie party.
Cabbie?
Yeah, cabbie.
With
kid.
Like a taxi driver, a cabbie?
Joe, just stop. You're not helping.
CABI, cabbie.
Oh,
Lori, you ever been to one?
I went to a trunk one where you just show up on your own time.
And?
Yeah, I bought pants.
All right. It's okay. You can admit you wear pants. But normally it's like your friends having the party and then they drag you to it and then they sit there and show you everything. There's only like 10 people. You feel like you got to buy something, right?
It's like Tupperware, or candle parties.
Candle parties, yeah. Sure. And then there's marital aid parties.
Oh, yeah.
You ever seen those?
Never.
Nick went to one of those, came home, and the dog ate it.
Really?
I just cut out the middle part of it, yes.
Surgery? How'd you solve that one?
She's like, the dog brought it. I think she was having friends over, and the dog brought it downstairs in its mouth.
Okay, it didn't actually swallow it.
No,
Okay.
but ate it up. Bit parts of it off.
Sure.
Okay. All right, it's the day in history. So it was on this day, 2020, when the World Health Organization, while in cahoots with China, declared that COVID-19, because remember at first they said it wasn't a big deal. Don't worry about it. No one's going to be hurt. Then they came, it becomes a global pandemic in the United States. There had been other viruses and other pandemics that had swept across the United States. 1914, 1917, somewhere in there. That was 1950 something as well. But this is the first time that the government ever decided that they were going to close everything down, increasing the suicides, increasing the number of businesses folding, increasing inflation, increasing the number of children that would not be educated, increasing the number of people that would not be able to be part of big moments in lives, whether it's weddings, births, or deaths. The government decided that locking everybody down and leaving the streets wide open for people to speed, to crash, and die, that we weren't allowed in our house. We weren't allowed to go anywhere unless we wanted to go march around because George Floyd had been killed. Then it was okay. I think most Americans really got a good look at the people that are in charge, and they lost a lot of faith in the CDC, as well they should, when they kept telling us that we needed to wear masks, and all of a sudden we didn't have to wear masks. They made that announcement the same day Biden's State of the Union address was coming out. They got upset with us because so many Americans were like, yeah, I'm not going to take the shot. And then they were trying to encourage us. Oh, you get a free hamburger and French fries if you get the vaccine. Oh, you'll be entered into a lottery drawing. Oh, remember those days? Oh, we'll pay for your kid to go to college.
Krispy Kreme donut.
Krispy Kreme donuts. You're going to get a whole bunch of free stuff. How about a mouse pad and a coffee mug if you get the vaccine? And then when people weren't doing that, they're like, I don't really want, a Krispy Kreme donut. Then they're like, okay, now we're mad at you. Now we're gonna fire you, and you're gonna lose your job because first we told you they were great, and then people are like, yeah, I don't want to get it, and then they offered you a bunch of stuff, and then once we didn't take the stuff, then we're like, I'm not getting the vaccine. Okay, then you're gonna lose your job. You're not allowed to do this. You can't travel here. You can't come into this building. You can't go into that building. And I always thought it was sort of weird was, wait a minute, if you got the shot, then you're protected. You don't have to worry about it. And why do I need to get the shot? Because then they denied herd immunity, which everyone else understood herd immunity. But all of a sudden the federal government's like, no, not quite. It's not going to work that way. None of it made sense. And now we have the wreckage of their poor decisions that are still smoldering in the minds of most Americans, where they don't trust the government, they don't trust the media, they don't trust parts of the government. The CDC has lost much respect. And then also when it comes to medicine, you're seeing less and less people getting vaccines. I don't think that's a good idea, but it's happened in the past. In Italy, there was a vaccine that went out and a couple of people got sick from it. And then vaccine hesitancy increased for about 15 years because people still remember the vaccine that hurt so many people. So now you get less people getting vaccines because they just don't trust, because we were fed just a great big pile of bull doo-doo. Did you get your vaccine?
I did. Did you? Don't lie. Don't lie.
I got the J&J.
That's the vaccine. That's enough.
I got the J&J. I didn't get the second one.
That's okay.
I got that one.
Yeah.
And then
my job depended on it. I'm sure like yours did too. And that was,
I had the fake card for a while. But then Nick's like, just get the vaccine. So I got the J&J, not the other one. I told Ride, don't get it.
That doesn't make you less of a fool.
I was forced.
Yeah, that's fine.
There was no choice.
We all were. That's okay. I mean, you can't. But you don't get to say that you didn't get the vaccine.
No, I got the vaccine. I got the J&J. I'm just saying I was forced.
Yeah.
I had to.
I think most people were. I mean, at the time I didn't think it was necessarily a bad thing. It just seemed like it didn't have a choice.
Just
in the
an
matter.
Experimental vaccine injected into your arm.
Would I do it again? No.
You. Here comes Lori checking traffic. Lori?
Southbound 405 at Southeast 8. That accident finally cleared the roadway. Everett to Bellevue, a half an hour drive, 28 minutes. Linwood to Seattle. And Bellevue to Issaquah, still seeing about a 5-minute delay. Bellevue to Federal Way, over an hour, actually an hour and 14 minutes. 410 eastbound at Traffic Avenue, we have the right lane blocked with a collision. Seattle to Tacoma, we're looking at an hour and 21 minutes. Eastbound 90 has reopened. Chains required. Westbound still closed. US 2 chains are required. I'm Lori KIRO, real-time traffic.
Thank you, Lori. I had a bad hip. I said I had a bad hip. In fact, it was so bad if I was in a plane or driving, I was in so much pain, taking aspirin all the time, sleep with a couple of pillows between my knees because it just was, that joint was such a problem. I went into a doctor and he said, well, we'll give you a titanium hip. We'll give you a new one. It's really great. You'll be up and walking in a couple of hours. How old are you? I told him, he said, well, you're going to have to wait a little while because you're a little too young for this. So we don't want you to wear the hip out. In the meantime, just, maybe some exercises. And I was like, what about the pain? So people have a bad shoulder, an elbow, an ankle, a wrist, or knee, and they're facing surgery, and the pain becomes too much, and they're not able to enjoy their life like they did. You know what a lot of people do? They go see Dr. Mark Wagner. Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Why? Because Wagner has performed more than 20,000 stem cell procedures. Your stem cells are your own stem cells, and he is able to help you a 90-minute outpatient procedure using your own stem cells. And the people that go to see Dr. Mark Wagner, they'll tell you this is a miracle. You will get back that joy in life. You have no more bad shoulder, elbow, wrist, ankle, or knee. Dr. Mark Wagner, MD.com. That's Dr. Mark Wagner, MD.com.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hey, it's Jake Skorheim. March is the start of spring, as we all know, and my outdoor to-do list is already growing. Fortunately, Valentine Roofing has my back and yours when it comes to checking off those honey-do list jobs. And with Valentine's huge March promotion, they're not only going to take care of you this year, they have you covered for next year, too. This month only, you can get a free year of roof maintenance when you purchase a new roof. Then you can enjoy seasonal checkups and professional care to keep your new roof looking its best. Plus, they have flexible financing with payments as low as $159 a month. And the Valentine experience, as we all know, seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. So it's no surprise that Valentine Roofing was voted 2025 Gold Best Roofing Company in the Seattle Times Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards. To take advantage of Valentine's free year of roof maintenance when you purchase a new roof, call 206 Roofing. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Febreze. New Febreze Air Mist has 50% more odor fighters and up to 30% more fragrance than the old formula. So now you can take on 100% more stinky odors, like sweaty gym bags, greasy cooking smells, and the after effects of the dog rolling around in something. Just spray, and new Febreze Air instantly restores just clean freshness. Smell you later, odor. Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
How can you grow your business from idea to industry leader? With smart business buying tools and technology from Amazon Business. From fast, free shipping to in-depth buying insights and automated purchase approvals, we deliver everything you need. Go to AmazonBusiness.com for support.
Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel welcomes Seattle Golf Show March 13th through 15th at Puyallups Washington State Fair Event Center. Parking's free. Get front door bonus golf, see 100 exhibits, top courses, and shop big brands with Putts Golf. Tickets, SeattleGolfShow.com.
I saw 3 times already on Instagram, and it's and I immediately sent it to Joe, who's down in the rabbit hole. Mm-hmm. He's like, "Oh no, that was not true." This is the one that's rolling all over the place that has this Simpsons predicting that Donald Trump dies. Where do we have this?
I've got it over here.
Okay, Joe has it. Okay, all right.
March 14th.
March 14th. Okay.
Trump will die on March 14th, 2026, and The Simpsons already predicted it. In a controversial episode of The Simpsons, one that many tried to hide, there's a shocking scene clearly shown next to a terrifying headline, Donald Trump found dead, and it doesn't stop there. In the episode, Trump is shown inside a luxurious room, surrounded by secret documents, nervously talking on the phone when suddenly he collapses. The clock on the wall stops exactly at 7 a.m. The creepiest part, just seconds before, the camera focuses on a newspaper lying on the floor with the phrase, "Someone very powerful will be silenced." A strange shadow appears.
Okay. So somebody made the whole thing up and put it out there.
Yeah, it's just AI.
Yeah. There is, I think YouTube is now deciding it's going to either watermark that when it's been created by AI, and then you'll know that this is crap. Then don't share it, don't send it. That's great that they're sort of policing this sort of thing, because what happens is somebody puts that thing up and saying, because they're going to get paid, right? They get a certain amount of views, and next thing you know, they get $10,000 or something rolling in. So just put something out that seems slightly believable. Just throw it out there. People click on it like we did. We made that guy some money.
We?
I'm talking about the royal we.
Oh, I see.
Not me or you. Just we the innocent Americans.
No big deal.
This is no big deal, Teeny. It's just the innocent Americans just scrolling their life away.
Over
That's
a certain age. Let me read a couple things that The Simpsons actually did predict.
Okay, go.
Donald Trump's presidency, they predicted in 2000. Let's see. A dragon burning down in the Game of Thrones, essentially the Game of Thrones ending before it came out a couple of years early. Let's see. Cypress Hill performing with the London Symphony Orchestra, 1996. Disney buying 21st Century Fox. They predicted that in 1999. Kind of interesting. Kamala Harris's purple pantsuit. They predicted in 2000.
They said that she would wear a purple pantsuit?
Well, they had Lisa Simpson as a presidential candidate wearing a purple pantsuit.
Oh, okay, got it.
It's a stretch. All
right, got it.
I think that the Donald Trump presidency, I think, was one of the ones that shocks a lot of people and gives them this reputation.
What year did they make that announcement?
The episode aired in 2000.
Okay, but Trump had been saying since like late 80s and in through 90s and stuff that he wanted to be president of the United States.
Well, he said he wouldn't be interested in it because it wasn't profitable, and he said he
was on Oprah. She kept saying, "You're an amazing businessman. Have you ever thought about, I might want to be?" And even David Letterman, he said he wanted to be president of the United States.
Yeah, I remember him saying if he was going to run, he'd run as a Republican because it'd be easier to dupe.
What did he say?
He said there would be easier to dupe. Because he was a Democrat for a long time.
Yeah, I get it. Here comes Lori checking traffic. Lori?
Bellevue to Federal Way now 1 hour and 14 minutes, 22-minute delay. 410 eastbound to Traffic Avenue, we have the right lane blocked. Seattle to Tacoma, an hour, 20 minutes. Everett to Bellevue is a 33-minute drive. And 28 minutes if you're heading from Linwood to Seattle. Eastbound 90, chains required. Westbound still closed. And US 2, you're going to need chains on that pass as well. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
It's cold outside, and if you're noticing it's taking forever to heat your home, there are cold spots in certain rooms, your furnace turns off and on a lot, or it never stops, or maybe your energy bill is just way too high. These are all warning signs that your home needs a blanket. There may be something wrong with your insulation, which means not only are you uncomfortable in your own home, but you could be wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars a year in lost energy. Call Insulation Northwest today, and we'll send one of our professionals to give you a fast, free energy inspection to determine if there is a problem. And if there is a problem, we can fix it fast. Most jobs are completed in 1 day. You have nothing to lose. The inspection is free and only takes about an hour and could save you thousands. Keep the heat in, the cold out, and your energy bill low. Call Insulation Northwest today. Insulation Northwest, the real insulation company.
Please ask if you qualify for thousands of dollars of free rebates from your energy company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. The Jake and Spike Show.
I check it late at night when my wife's not looking.
Weekdays noon to 3.
My favorite thing on my phone, which is my weather app.
First thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
On KIRO News Radio on 97.3 FM and the KIRO News Radio app.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years. That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives.
We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day.
And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us. Clean food, and a family that's been doing it right for generations.
So next time you're at the grocery store,
skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them.
Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Safeway, Albertsons, or Town and Country markets. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Amazon Business empowers leaders with smart business buying tools, leaving time to focus on strategy and growth. Free up your teams and focus on your future at amazonbusiness.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. The U.S. has launched an intense barrage at Iranian Navy ships in and around the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has attacked commercial ships across the Persian Gulf and targeted Dubai International Airport. CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper says of U.S. progress.
Every day, we're striking hard at Iranian ballistic missile and drones. To date, we have struck more than 5,500 targets inside Iran, including more than 60 ships, using a variety of precision weapon systems.
Israeli military has just announced a wide-scale wave of strikes on Tehran. President Trump says the U.S. must finish the job in Iran hours after suggesting the war could be over soon because Washington had run out of targets. Republican Congressman Don Bacon from Nebraska, who's on the House Armed Services Committee, tells CBS's Major Garrett.
So I think it was overdue. I think the effects of the operations have been superb. I think it's very unfortunate and terrible that school got hit, and it was done by accident, I think.
President Trump says he will tap the U.S.'s Strategic Petroleum Reserve to help lower oil and gas prices. During a stop in Kentucky, he also announced
the International Energy Agency agreed to coordinate the release of a record 400 million barrels of oil from various national petroleum reserves around the world, which will substantially reduce the oil prices as we end this threat to America and this threat to the world.
Richard Kahn, one-time accountant for Jeffrey Epstein, has testified in a closed-door deposition before the House Oversight Committee. That panel continues gathering information about the late sex offender and his dealings with powerful people. Democratic Congressman Suhas Subramaniam of Virginia.
He was able to evade tax laws. He was able to evade justice. He was able to get away with a lot of crimes because there were white-collar professionals around him helping him fix situations.
Inflation held steady last month, but that was before the war with Iran sent energy costs soaring. In total, consumer prices have climbed 2.4% from the same time last year. A new analysis of police shooting data compiled by the Washington Post finds that fatal police shootings of minority groups change a lot by state. In Mississippi, police shot and killed black and white people at nearly the same rate. But in Utah, black people were much more likely than whites to be killed. CBS's Anna Schechter says racial disparity is not what caught her eye.
They're highlighting that in states where you have very loose gun laws and very high rates of gun ownership, you had a higher rate of people being shot and killed by police. And that's actually very meaningful.
This is CBS News.
Go to the ends of the earth, half a world away. Reach for the stars.
If I take time to think, they might go get Brad.
On CBS, Sunday morning.
The House passes the so-called millionaires tax. Details coming up, but first a look at traffic from the real-time traffic desk. Here's Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by the Seattle RV Show. Seattle to Everett, we're looking at an hour and 4 minutes. Bellevue to Everett, an hour and 8 minutes. Bellevue to Federal Way, an hour and 17 minutes. So we're seeing very heavy commute times. Federal Way to Tacoma, a half an hour. Southbound I-5, pretty heavy. Federal Way to 512 and then past Joint Base Lewis-McChord. Northbound slows from 512 to 16 and approaching State Route 18. 16 pretty heavy as you head into Gig Harbor. Eastbound 90 chains required. Westbound continues to be closed. And both directions of US 2 chains required. Don't miss the Seattle RV Show, March 12th through the 15th at Lumen Field Event Center. Shop over 400 new models for every budget and lifestyle. Get tickets at seattlervshow.com. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Lawmakers have approved a new income tax on households earning more than $1 million a year, passing the House on a 51-46 vote. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey reports it could mean the state's highest earners could soon pack up and leave.
As soon as the millionaires tax passed the House, Starbucks founder Howard Schultz announced he's moving to Florida, where they don't have a state income tax. Former Attorney General Rob McKenna predicts the tax will also scare away potential businesses. And the result?
We're going to turn into Oregon, which has much lower per capita income levels than Washington State because they don't have the economic engines that we do.
McKenna says the tax is likely to face legal challenges soon after Governor Bob Ferguson signs it into law. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
The Senate will hear that bill this hour in Olympia. As the mountains deal with a blizzard, we'll be getting heavy wind and rain in the lowlands. Puget Sound Energy's Melanie Kuhn tells KIRO 7 they're ready to deal with power outages.
So we've been monitoring the weather, and we're ready to respond throughout our service area, which is most of Western Washington.
She says make sure you've got flashlights with extra batteries, plenty of food and water, warm clothing, and a fully charged phone. A highly intoxicated mixed martial artist was arrested just after 3 this morning. Deputies say he tried to break into a second-floor guest room at the Best Western in Silverdale. Kevin McCarty with the Kitsap County Sheriff's Office.
A guest at a Silverdale hotel called 911. He said somebody was trying to break into his room from the balcony, from the exterior balcony.
Deputies found the man on the roof. He was tased, carried from the roof, and arrested for burglary, resisting arrest, and obstruction. Well, for the first time ever, Mount Baker Ski Area says it will offer night skiing this weekend. The event will light up the Chair 7 from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. March 13th and 14th. Overnight parking is available by reservation. Cold nights are triggering expanded shelter services across King County. The Regional Homelessness Authority is opening severe weather shelters, boosting outreach and supporting food distribution through Friday as temperatures dip into the low 30s. And now let's get a weather update. A stormy night is brewing with a wind advisory overnight in the lowlands, gusts pushing 50 miles per hour, and a blizzard warning in the mountains going into effect at 6 p.m. Right now it's 49. That wind is picking up, and we've got rain in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show.
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's write this down. That's good.
Well, that John Curley Show, it's the best live entertainment in the Pacific Northwest.
Thank you.
Whee!
How about that? He knew he'd get on with that, huh?
Yeah. Works every time.
Yeah, it's called gilding the lily there. Oh, boy. All right. AI is moving so fast, the laws can't keep up. But lawyers are out there trying to protect all of us. You know the story about the Meta AI glasses?
This next one is kind of a crazy story. This is a pretty long, in-depth article, but here's the TLDR of it. Basically, they found out that Meta AI glasses can use the data that's coming into the video for training. Well, that training is all going to a company in Africa where humans are actually reviewing that footage. And as you can imagine, there's a lot of footage that's coming in and getting viewed by humans. You know, people in the bathroom, people getting changed, people looking at their credit cards where the credit card details are in full view. All of this information that's being recorded by the glasses. And well, now there's some more legal battles looming for Meta. Now the tech giant is facing a lawsuit in the United States as well. In the newly filed complaint, plaintiffs of New Jersey and California allege that Meta violated privacy laws and engaged in false advertising.
And the attorney that I assume is the one filing all this is Ryan Clarkson from Clarkson Law Firm. You are, Ryan, the AI doesn't like you because it seems like every couple of weeks something comes certified mail explaining you've got plaintiffs and you want AI to tighten things up. Let's talk about the AI glasses on this particular story. You say that that AI, all AI scrapes everything. Google, anything on the internet, it's constantly scraping it, taking it up, and then holding it, and then using it and dispersing it back out again. And if I'm a 55-year-old guy that's online and I put pictures up or something, AI grabs that stuff and holds it. And then, as far as you're concerned, my rights have been violated because AI got pictures of me and my dog.
Well, let's back up a little bit, John.
All right.
And let's talk about kind of what got the ball rolling.
Yes.
As these artificial intelligence tools have been rolled out into society. I manage a Clarkson Law Firm.
Yes.
It's a 30-lawyer public interest law firm. We're headquartered in Malibu, California. We got offices throughout the country. And we bring cases against big tech and other big corporations on behalf of large groups of ordinary people when they've been harmed in some way. So these can be consumer protection cases, they can be employment cases, cases involving AI and data privacy and all kinds of things, healthcare, et cetera.
Okay.
So a couple of years ago, we filed a very big, important case against Google, another against OpenAI, and it was exactly for what you were talking about, John.
Yeah.
So these companies scraping everyone's personal information, their expressions of personhood, and in some cases, their copyrighted works. That's what our Google case is all about. That got a lot of people talking about artificial intelligence tools and its responsible use and what other information and what other companies might be scraping and using information to train these very profitable tools that we now see kind of throughout society.
But Counselor, everyone always asks, well, what are the damages? Like in the case with Google, people's personal information without their consent. And in this case, you have a New York Times bestselling author, you got a 6-year-old boy, you have a software developer, a TikTok influencer, and an actor. I can understand the author producing something, but like, for instance, a 6-year-old boy, what are the damages that images or something the kid wrote or whatever has now become public?
Well, every case is a little bit different.
Yeah.
So let's look at this Meta case that we just filed. We just filed a case against Meta in connection with this brand new technology product that they rolled out. It's called Meta AI Smart Glasses. They're glasses that are just like Ray-Bans and Oakleys. And in fact, Meta partnered with those brands. So to the average person kind of walking around in the world, they're pretty much indistinguishable unless you look very closely.
Yes.
And what's happening is these glasses are very different because they have a camera on the front that allows the user to record the world around them. They've got a speaker, they've got a microphone that allows it to interact with the what's called an AI chatbot embedded within this technology product. Now, the AI chatbot, John, is like what people think of as OpenAI's ChatGPT or Anthropic's Claude. Google has one called Gemini. If you're now doing Google searches, you might have interacted with it. Meta's chatbot is called Llama. And every one of these smart glass devices has this chatbot embedded in it. And so people are engaging with that. But what they don't realize is their privacy is not being protected as Meta has advertised. Their privacy is being breached because in their most personal moments, these recordings are being sent halfway across the world to workers working for meta subcontractors, and they're reviewing all of these private moments. There is, so we talked about what's the measure of damages in that case. In a false advertising case, it's the difference between what was paid for, i.e. a product that promised privacy, and what was received. And so the difference between those two figures, what was promised and what was received, is what we call a price premium. And every single purchaser of these products overpaid for it and is entitled to a refund for it.
They've overpaid for what portion was over the cost of the product? By the way, I have a friend of mine that works in a glass store, and she refers to them as perv specs. I guess the thing is, you say, well, the person's it's your problem is that somebody in some other country is looking at this stuff. Is that where the violation occurs?
Yeah, there's two types of violations here. There's a false advertising claim, and there's a privacy violation. So on the false advertising claim, what are they overpaying for? They're overpaying for the privacy that was promised them. Okay. If people knew that they were getting a product that was being, sent, the video being captured was being sent halfway across the world, and others were looking at that, then they knew the privacy claim was false. They wouldn't have paid extra for that. So they either wouldn't have bought the product or they would have paid less for it. In a consumer protection parlance, we call that a price premium.
Yes.
And that can run 10, 20%, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending on the seriousness that consumers place on that particular claim.
Okay, so
the privacy claims are separate.
Yeah.
That's what is the value of my personal information, of my private video footage. And, there is a value. There are mature data exchanges and markets that place a value on all kinds of personal information, whether it's video footage or whether it's social security numbers or whether it's driver's license numbers or any other kind of personal identifying information, medical information.
We're speaking with Ryan Clarkson from Clarkson Law Firm, who has filed. How many cases have you filed against AI producers? Like 4 now?
I would say we're probably over a dozen now, because our work in AI, John, is happening across numerous different practice areas.
Yeah.
So what we're seeing is, as these products are rolled out, they're exporting all kinds of harms all across society. So there are some AI washing cases where, we've got a case against Apple involving an iPhone that had AI features promised, and those turned out to be false.
This reminds me, Ryan, when the automobile took over for the horse, laws hadn't gotten in place right away. So all of a sudden there was all these things happening where people getting run over and the car was, blowing up and rest. But they hadn't had the laws in place. So you had these injuries. You and AI are running down the road together, and lawmakers are about 2-3 years behind you, right? And that's often the case with technology. So you're coming in, and in effect, you're saying, hey, AI, clean up your act. And lawmakers, because I'm sure they're going to be called by Meta and the rest, what can you do to protect us, to write some sort of law so that we're not exposed to this sort of thing? But you're right in that pinch point where the law's not there written, and these guys are violating the copyright, or at least the idea that the person had some sort of privacy. Is there somewhere on the list or somewhere on the scroll thing that people never read, Ryan, that they're just sort of clicking through and pointing, yes, I accept, confirm, accept, continue, and realizing they have given away their rights to privacy?
Yeah. So certainly that's what Meta is going to argue.
Yeah.
But I don't agree with that. And I don't think that's what the law provides for. You talked about, I think you hit the nail on the head, John, when you say that there's political gridlock in Washington. You've got an administration who's not regulating AI because they're pro-AI, they're pro-big tech, they're pro-corporation. And so, they're in a very laissez-faire kind of a situation there. And so what does that leave? It leaves private attorneys, public interest lawyers like me and my colleagues to try to prosecute these cases. And sometimes the law doesn't fit perfectly because it didn't anticipate certain types of technologies moving so fast at a lightning quick speed. But that doesn't mean that we can't make arguments to have existing laws on the books apply to changing, evolving facts.
You're going to have a very dedicated judge who has an imagination, who also has a strong understanding of the law. And your argument, because they're not going to have you're going to be able to point to some precedent, but then on the defense side, they're going to be able to go, well, that doesn't apply because of this and this. You strike these two things, and the whole case falls apart. You really have to try to thread this needle thing, Ryan, to get the judge to see there's the violation of privacy and there are the damages because of it. Like, for instance, don't you think at some point, Ryan, that AI will become so encompassing that you and anybody else that's concerned about privacy just gets washed away from a gigantic wave of technology?
I'm hoping it doesn't happen, but that certainly is a concern, right? This coming wave of technology, I mean, listen, it's here and it's crashing over us, and it's probably going to get heavier and wetter and worse, right? So what can we do? We have to do something about it. I got to tell you, when it comes to a case like this, it doesn't seem controversial at all. It feels like a classic case of false advertising. It's a clear bait and switch. And then we've got existing privacy statutes on the books that help to protect against situations like this. So, certainly there are circumstances in which we have to be a little bit more creative and really think through, how to position the case best as possible and carve out the right theory. And we're doing those things in this case, but I actually think it's a pretty classic case that, most judges, and certainly the very experienced judges in the Northern District of California, where we filed in San Francisco, certainly have the expertise and wisdom done.
I would assume Meta doesn't want to go to court. I assume they don't want to get in there. They don't want a precedent written. They don't want any judge to have to rule on this sort of thing. They'll just say to you, what do you want? What do you want, Ryan? What do you want? How much you want? And we'll, you go back and forth on that thing because they don't want it to go, because they want to be able to have that flexibility to continue to do their stuff. So have you thrown that out? Have you given them a number? 100 million, 200 million, 500 million?
Listen, this is still at a super early stage. We just filed the case last week.
Yeah.
So a lot has to happen. We still have to figure out, what happens with the game board here, to strategize and figure out how all of this is going to progress.
Yeah.
Other cases are being filed. Other law firms are coming in. So we have to be prepared for that. I think that Meta feels pretty comfortable in court. God knows they've been in court quite a bit over the last several years.
Oh, yes.
You all remember the Cambridge Analytica scandal.
Oh, yeah.
They made a big settlement out of that. There were biometric privacy violations, big settlement out of that. They're just in court last week. Mark Zuckerberg was in Los Angeles County Superior Court last week. And in fact, some of his entourage rolled in wearing the Meta AI glasses, and they were admonished by the judge for doing so. Said that they would be held in contempt of court if it happened again. I mean, the audacity is unbelievable.
Joe, you want to ask him a question?
Yeah, I'm curious, and I'm sure, I don't know if you want to say, but just kind of looking down the road a little bit, is there a kind of a big case or multiple cases that you anticipate? I mean, will people be suing for mass obsolescence in different industries when entire, jobs are wiped out?
It's so hard to predict how this is all going to unfold. I think that the best cases tend to be narrowly tailored to a specific issue. It's easier for, to carve out a theory that can stick and ultimately hold power to account. That's what we're trying to do. When lawsuits are filed and they're really big swings, sometimes, lawyers bite off more than they can chew, and it doesn't bode well for that particular case. So we're trying to be, very nuanced here. We're trying to be creative, but we're also trying to really stick fact to law.
Ryan, do you think people have become sort of numb or calloused because of their scrolling thumb across the screen, that their privacy really is not that important to them? The fact that their device in the house listens to them, that their Zumba, Oomba, vacuum cleaner listens to them. And people are like, hey, they're tracking me on my phone. Hey, they know everything I bought. It seems like either we have become, the frog in the water. We don't mind necessarily. Our privacy, okay, they're going to sell my data. What do I care as long as I can watch this or watch that?
I think there's some of that, John. I think what I actually believe is that there is a growing feeling of powerlessness over the might and the reach and the wealth of big tech companies. I mean, think about the trillions of dollars in market cap added to all of these big tech 7 over the last couple of years since they rolled out AI devices alone. So there is some of that, but at the same time, there's also kind of a growing chorus of concern and a desire for ordinary people to push back and speak truth to power. That's what I've dedicated my professional life to. That's what I want to help people do. And that's why I'm bringing all of these important cases against these companies.
Well, it is a David and Goliath right now, David. So I wish you good luck with the sling and the rock. And if you know where to hit the giant, I think you'll be okay. But in the meantime, Ryan Clarkson from Clarkson Law Firm, go get him, my friend.
Thanks, John. And let me tell all of your listeners, if they bought these glasses and they want to get involved, they want to learn their legal rights in this area, reach out to ClarksonLawFirm.com. I'd love to talk to you.
Okay, there we go. All right. Thank you, Ryan. Checking traffic with Lori. Lori, what do you got?
Pretty heavy travel time, Seattle to Everett, an hour and 6 minutes. And if you're heading from Bellevue to Linwood, 48 minutes. Bellevue to Federal Way, still looking at an hour, 13 minutes. Seattle to Federal Way, just under an hour at 52 minutes. Southbound I-5, pretty heavy from Duwamish River Curve, really off and on, slowing all the way to 16. 16 westbound slows into Gig Harbor. Both direct, eastbound 90 chains required, westbound still closed at the pass, and chains required on US 2 as well. I'm Lori, KIRO, real-time traffic.
Thank you, Lori. I know what it's like. Your hair begins to thin. Let's see what comes next. And the crown disappears. And then that hair loss just starts to rob you of your identity. You're like, wait a minute, I'm not the bald guy. Yeah, looks like you are. That's how I felt before I visited Advanced Hair. You see, they got this simple one-day treatment, and they regrew my own natural hair, and they can do the exact same thing for you. Because, let's face it, if it's starting to thin out a little bit and it's not coming back, I noticed personally when I was going to get my hair cut, I'm like, how's it going in the back? But it's going to get a little bit of a bald spot. And keep an eye on it. It just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was like, oh, my God, I'm going bald. So I made an appointment. I went to go see the good people there at Advanced Hair. You do the exact same thing. Free consultation, $250 off, $250 free hair graft, simply by calling 425-449-8185. And you don't want to wait because your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the 425 Business of the Year. That's 2 years in a row for everybody over there. Give them a call at 425-449-8185 and check out the before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's renter's insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the four walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Hey, it's Jason Rance. I'm here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from Nunn Better Tax Resolution. One thing the IRS has been working on is to modernize their infrastructure, the software that they use. And, you know, we look at that and say that's great for government efficiency, but in this case, that kind of efficiency means they're spotting people way faster.
They're able to do that, and they have to do that because they have fewer personnel. But look at your own work environment. how technology is replacing people, and you can get as much work done or more with the proper technology. And that's what the IRS's goal is that we need to use technology, especially AI, to make determinations on, okay, who should we go after? Who are we missing?
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. Nunn Better Tax Resolution. From stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967. Or Google NUNN. Nunn Better Tax Resolution.
Give your attic an overhaul with new insulation from Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation. Stay cool all summer, slash utility bills, and boost your home's air quality. Call now and get $300 off attic ceiling and ventilation. Or visit us at guardianroofing.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
There's nothing like the taste of the very first fruit you grew yourself. Well, March is the time to visit Sky Nursery for a wide variety of Northwest-grown strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, and kiwi, persimmon, fig, plum trees, and more. Visit skynursery.com.
You know the one question that guys hate to have asked of them by their wives, Nick?
I can take a good guess.
I know you know 100 of them. This is the worst one. Do these jeans make my butt look big?
Whoa.
Can't answer that one, right? What I've noticed is whenever you ask me questions like that, I just simply say, oh, I don't know. What did the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic say?
Well, the doctors at Longevity Medical Clinic would tell me that my butt looks great in those jeans now that my hormones are balanced.
What'd they do? Did they give you something to bring your weight down?
No, just a result of having my hormones balanced caused me to lose weight. Who would have known? I had no idea that would be a result of it.
So that's good. So the answer is you look great. You're beautiful.
I feel great. I look great.
Yeah.
And I know it.
I've also noticed that your testosterone makes you a little feistier than you normally are as my beautiful Greek wife.
I might be small, but I have a loud bark.
Yes, you do. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at longevitymedicalclinic.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Well, we're expecting wind gusts in some spots 50 miles an hour tonight, so be ready for power outages.
Experts say now is the time to get a few things ready in case the power goes out at your house over the next 24 hours. You should have a couple of flashlights with good batteries ready to go. That's compared to candles because experts say that could cause a fire. Make sure that your cell phone is also fully charged. Have extra blankets, layers, and coats available. If you have a generator, make sure that you have fuel for it.
That's KIRO 7's Brooke Griffin. Now, spin-outs and crashes have led to the closure of Snoqualmie Pass this afternoon, where snow is heavy. Eastbound lanes are open once again near North Bend, but they are still closed westbound near Easton and again near Ellensburg. We'll get an update here shortly with Lori. Washington State Trooper Rick Johnson has some advice, though, when you're driving in rough weather.
Just slow it down. Keep your lights on. Make sure your vehicle's maintain and expect that it's going to take longer to get from point A to point B.
No word how long before that pass is fully open. One of the men responsible for a brutal Everett home invasion has pleaded guilty. According to KIRO 7 TV, Christopher Johnson admitted he was part of the crew that killed Ira Soak in her home in 2022. She was zip-tied and shot as her young child lay next to her. Her husband spoke to KIRO 7 right after her murder.
I wish she's still here with me right now.
Johnson has been sentenced to 25 years in prison. When it comes to the war with Iran, President Donald Trump has cycled from calls for unconditional surrender to sounding amenable to an end state in which Iran trades one hardline Ayatollah for another. Washington Congressman Adam Smith tells CNN the objective is still not clear.
It has been a massive disruption to accomplish what? To degrade Iran's missile capability for some period of time. You know, is it 6 months? Is it a year? We don't know, but it seems unlikely that it has any sort of permanency to it. It weakened them, sure.
The war is now 12 days old. And now let's head over to the traffic desk with Lori and get a check on that real-time traffic. It's getting busy out there, isn't it?
Yeah, really heavy traffic. In fact, our travel times are like an hour most places. Seattle to Everett, an hour 6 minutes. Bellevue to Linwood, just under an hour at 50 minutes. Traffic is brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Bellevue to Federal Way, an hour 15 minutes. And Seattle to Federal Way, you're looking at a 55-minute drive. Southbound I-5, very heavy, pretty much from the Duwamish River curve all the way to 16. You get a little bit up to speed in a few places, but overall it's a slow go. 16 slows into Gig Harbor, and as Nate mentioned, westbound 90 still closed. Chains are required on eastbound 90 and US 2. Find your pot of gold at Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Save up to 20%, plus enjoy 12 months, same as cash financing. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com now. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. A wind advisory for the lowlands, rain and 36 overnight, which could translate to a rain-snow mix. Epic pow-pow over our mountain passes with a blizzard warning going into effect at 6 o'clock tonight overnight. Windy, light sprinkles and 48 right now in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Start your day with solutions, not problems. KIRO 7 pinpoint weather and real-time traffic every 10 minutes. From downpours to backups, whatever is waiting for you when you head out the door, KIRO 7 News in the Morning will get you prepared. Stay up to the minute every 10 minutes. Watch KIRO 7 News in the Morning, 4:30 to 7 a.m.
Well said, well read, Joe.
Ooh, this is good.
No. We don't have time. Bucky's Auto Service Center, 16 locations, been around 50 years. Bucky's Auto Service Centers. All right, let's get our counselor in here and get another lawyer. 2 lawyers in a row. Wow, gee whiz. I feel like Judge Wapner all of a sudden. All right. Samir Singla, are you there? Are you there? Where are you? You're not your disembodied voice. Where are you?
I'm right here, John.
All right.
How are you?
Oh, good. Okay, so the last time we spoke, to bring everybody up to speed, there is a case that you have. You've got 4 female police officers that have filed a tort claim saying there was a hostile work environment and sexual discrimination against them. This is April 2024, July 2024. We hadn't talked to you in a while. The case was just sort of slowly bumping along. And this was one of the reasons that at the time, the mayor, Bruce Harold, says, I'm getting rid of Diaz. So what's happened since we talked last, Counselor?
Yeah. Hey, John. Thanks a lot for having me on again. So since we talked last, we filed a lawsuit and we're underway. We entered into mediation. Unfortunately, that was not successful. So we're going to be looking at a trial. But as we're getting ready for that, a lot of things happened on our end. We tried to get discovery, which is a process that we use in lawsuits to try to get information from the department, the Seattle Police Department. And when they didn't give us that, then we filed a public records request because we can do that. Mm-hmm. And we usually do that in cases against the city and government is to make sure that we hold them accountable so that they're giving us all the information that we need. We found out that sometimes they don't give us everything through the discovery process, and then we find out that they give us more through the public records process, then we can go and hold them to account saying, hey, you didn't give us all the information. But what ended up happening in this case is we asked for all of the information that we were supposed to get in discovery, and now they've stalled us, and they said that they're not going to produce this information to us until September, a month before we're going to go to trial.
Now, Shamir, you have an interesting relationship with all the stuff in the city because you used to be the attorney on the other side, right?
I did.
Yeah. So is this... I don't want to disparage anybody there, but is this a little trick that is played? You ask for discovery. You ask for, hey, give us these emails and this and this. We want to see the schedule and the calendar. Oh, we can't find it. We don't know where it is or we don't have that. But then you go ahead and file a Freedom of Information request and then it pops up. Is that a little maneuver that cities are known to do?
Well, this is what I'll tell you is I worked there 14 years ago. So
yes.
When I worked there, we didn't do that.
Oh,
things.
Okay. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, well, but things have changed. This is not uncommon for them to stall it out. What is uncommon is for them to bundle the kind of requests that we've made. And the reason that I was alarmed by it and we ended up filing another lawsuit is because they just got hit for $160,000 when the Seattle Times filed a lawsuit and ended up winning against the department. And the department ended up paying $60,000 and then promising to release the information. And the Times was looking for things like Adrian Diaz's schedule and, some of the emails that Adrian Diaz was sending around. It's the same information that we're entitled to.
And explain, if you can, when a city or a local government has a request, it has to produce that, the Freedom of Information request. It must give you everything that it has. If not, they can get whacked with a big fine, right?
Big fine. So you got to understand, it's not the city's records. They're not government records. They're literally the public's records. That's why it's called the Public Records Act.
Yeah.
So when the public goes and asks for the records that they're entitled to, the government, and in this case, the Seattle Police Department, has a statutory obligation to produce them. Full stop.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't just basically hide in the sand and say, well, come after us, sue us, and then we'll think about producing them. And there are penalties. In this case, in the Seattle Times case, they agreed to $70,000 just in penalties. And then the other $90,000 approximately in attorney's fees. It's an expensive way of stalling some things that you literally, by law, are not supposed to do.
Are they just trying to run out the clock on this thing or just tire you and just continue to kind of kick the can down the road? Because you filed this thing. Normally, in some cases, once you get through discovery and you already tried to mediate and that didn't go anywhere, when do you expect to go to court? And are the 4 women still working for the Seattle Police Department?
Yes. Technically, all 4 of them are working. One of them ended up, unfortunately, having to retire because she was just exhausted by the way that she was being treated by the department. But the other 3 are still working. In fact, they're doing well under the circumstances. One of them is working in a high level position. The other one was, I just saw an advertisement where she was featured by the Seattle Police Department as one of the people who was encouraging others to join the department. So they're doing well. Mind you, they're doing well under this new administration, not under the administration that they're complaining about.
Right, because if they had stayed, if Diaz was still there, and if it was a hostile work environment, somebody would say, it was so bad, why'd you keep working, right? That would be the easiest thing for the defense to be able to say. But in this case, Diaz is out, and they feel that it's more welcoming. You got Chief Barnes is in there, and they feel appreciated. Plus, they're probably no one's going to touch him or say anything to them because they have you.
Well,
they have you as a lawyer.
Well, I don't work there, so I don't know how much I can help. But what I can tell you is one of the other issues that we filed and the allegations we filed was the series of retaliations that happened as soon as they filed their lawsuit, right? You had this public statement come out saying that they were just being victims and they should not be taken seriously. And they're still experiencing some of that even today from the rank and file and some of their supervisors, because it's not like the entire administration changed, right? You just had some of the higher ups change, but the people who were still involved in discriminating and retaliating against our clients are still there. So they, from time to time, still face it. I mean, one of our clients, it got so bad that she had to be escorted out of the building because one of the people that she's accusing of harassing her was in the same building as her, and the department wasn't helping her out. So she had to find her colleagues to escort her out of the building so she wouldn't run into this guy.
Yeah. So you were there 14 years ago, but just speaking hypothetical terms here as I sort of build this story, for the people that are sitting there, the lawyers that are representing the city of Seattle, it's not their money, right? So the $10 million that went out, one case, $25 million went out for that car crash that occurred. There was $3 million went out for another case, which one that one was, small claims, and there was $29 million. The lawyers that are sitting there representing the city, because if they have to settle on this sort of stuff, it doesn't hurt them in any way. Their career doesn't get dinged. They don't lose partner. Do they just go, well, what the hell? Just give them the 29, give them the 10, give them the 5. We'll just get this thing over with. What is their motivation to, fight tooth and nail and to stop someone like you from receiving, whatever the damages are?
I think this is what I can tell you. Each lawyer has the client that ultimately makes the decision, right? So we as lawyers, even when I was working there or on the outside, now working in my own practice, we can make all the recommendations we want. We can say, hey, this may not be a good case. You should end up settling. But then the client, in this case, the police department, who then makes their own calculus, and a lot of times it's driven by politics, a lot of times it's driven by ego, a lot of times it's driven by other things, then stops that decision from going forward, and the lawyers are kind of stuck. I feel for them at times because they're stuck. They're making the recommendation, but the politics are getting in the way, or the ego is getting in the way, that I don't want to look bad by settling this case because it's going to sound like I did something wrong.
Right, like the case of the young lady that was killed by crossing the street in the car. He was going 72 miles an hour responding to an overdose, and he struck her. And the city settled that one, I think, for like $29 million. So where's your case now? Are you getting closer and closer to court?
We're scheduled for trial in October. We're going to start deposing people in the next month or so, and I'm looking forward to the depositions. I'm looking forward to putting some of the folks that have been in the news under deposition and asking some of the tough questions of why they thought they could treat my clients the way that they did.
All right. Well, Shamir, we will stay in touch with you as you get closer to that date. And best of luck as you go through those long 4-hour depositions. Move to strike, object to form.
8 hours.
Oh my God. 8 hours. We'll take a break for lunch and we'll get back to this. All right, Samir, thanks a lot. We'll check in with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. All right, let's check with Lori in traffic. Lori?
Pretty heavy commute. Bellevue to Federal Way, an hour, 14 minutes. Bellevue to Linwood, just under an hour at 48 minutes. And if you're heading from Seattle to Everett, expect an hour, 6 minutes. Very heavy traffic southbound I-5 heading out of Seattle from Duwamish River Curve all the way to State Route 16. 16 slows into Gig Harbor. And if you're heading over the mountain passes, westbound 90 still closed. Eastbound, chains required. US 2, chains required. I'm Lori, KIRO, real-time traffic.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
I saw her texting coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Xfinity Tech Support, Matthew speaking.
Hi, I live in a pretty remote place, like Jurassic Park remote. Whoa!
Wow.
Will Xfinity Mobile work out here?
Yep, the combination of reliable Wi-Fi and 5G makes it so that you can stay connected in all kinds of places. Plus, you get access to ultra-fast speeds and coverage, whether you're poolside or out live streaming with a T-Rex.
Hold still, you're about to go viral.
Welcome to a new era of Wi-Fi boosted mobile. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Learn more at xfinitymobile.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Watch Jurassic Park with Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings comparison based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus 2 lines of T-Mobile Experience More, Verizon Unlimited Plus, and AT&T Starter as of February 10th, 2026. Taxes, fees, extra.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
What's this new flying car going to cost? The last thing I saw was $130,000.
You know,
this is the fact that the FAA has given permission to these drones that are now going to be able to fly around. The FAA, that's the first thing they've been able to get
These
cleared.
are for flying taxis, parcel delivery, that kind of thing.
Here we go. Hang on. Press the button. I see, Andrew. Hang on. Don't yell at me.
All of this new technology, these eVTOLs that are going to take people from one airport to the next and beyond that, these Ubers in the air. We have a president, we have a DOT that want to see those innovators innovate in America and then export them around the world. eVTOLs are going to make the airspace far more interesting and far more fun.
I'll say interesting.
And we have to be prepared for that and seamlessly implement their involvement in using the NAS. This is a time when we don't know how the world is going to change, but it's going to change in the way people and products move, which is exciting. I'm excited for what the future holds. Let's win the future.
A 3-year program now expanding to 26 states, designed to ensure that U.S. companies lead the way when it comes to the next gen of aircraft used for personal travel, regional transportation, cargo logistics, and emergency medicine. The Department of Transportation, Sean Duffy, is all in favor of it as long as you don't wear pajamas. So apparently those were his remarks for Monday. So here it comes. This is the technology.
This is it.
I've been saying this thing now for 15 years. It was like out of the job. Here we go. The flying car. Because I see that train. It's not moving too fast across the I-90. It's going to be who's going to be the first to get in it, and then do they have the technology all worked out? Of course, there's going to be some crashes, and then people are like, oh, never getting in that thing. But then you just sort of go, well, same sort of feeling you have when you get into a plane. You give up all of your freedom to be able to protect yourself as you fly around in the tube. But most people at that point are like, hey, it's pretty safe. And then they do the numbers. And it's, statistically speaking, I'm less likely to die in a plane than I am in a car. You're more likely
These
to
are
be.
safer than airplanes, I think.
Why is that?
Because they're electric, so there's not there's no combustible jet engines to worry about. The weather's not going to be much of a factor because they're kind of drone technology. They're not traditional airplanes, so they can take off and land vertically. They're going to be automated, I think, for the most part, so no pilot to make mistakes.
And everybody's flying around, and all of a sudden the satellite stuff goes out.
Well, like a typical drone, like a hobbyist drone, if you lose connection or lose power, it automatically knows to come back to the place where it launched from. So.
Okay, and you just turn around and go right back again.
That's right.
Like Icarus. Icarus flying too close to the sun, right?
This is it.
You ever seen, who has the famous painting of Icarus Falls? You ever seen that one?
I don't know.
Turn it off. And it's an amazing painting. Because you look at it and you're like, well, it's just some guy on a hill with a plow and an oxen, and then there's a couple of boats going out. You have to sort of look at it for a little while, and then all of a sudden you notice just to the right, kind of middle of this beautiful painting, are these two legs that are up above the water.
It's like a Renaissance painting, or
I can't remember the artist's name. Icarus Falls, and you go, oh, there he is. He flew too close to the sun with wax wings.
Oh yeah, here it is.
You see it?
Yeah.
Isn't it beautiful?
Oh, it is.
Who's the artist?
Looking for the Peter Bruegel the Elder, 1560.
Ah, yes, exactly. Oh, wonderful. Here comes Lori checking traffic. Lori.
Well, for the cars that are still on the road, Seattle to Everett, we're looking at an hour drive. Bellevue to Federal Way is an hour 15 minutes. And Seattle to Tacoma, an hour 20 minutes. We're seeing a tough drive westbound 16 into Gig Harbor. Both directions of I-5 heavy past Joint Base Lewis McChord. And we're also seeing a big slowdown southbound I-5 approaching State Route 101. Chains required US 2 and I-90, but westbound 90 is still closed. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my buddy, Dr. Daniel Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. The stem cell therapy you did on my knee was a game changer. But Dr. Dan, people ask me all the time if you're seeing the same kind of success treating neck and back pain with stem cell therapy.
Great question, Brock. As you know from your experience, we've had tremendous success treating major joints like hips, knees, and shoulders, but we've also seen excellent results treating neck and lower back pain. In fact, we're the only clinic in the Seattle area offering image-guided stem cell and PRP injection therapy specifically for neck and low back pain.
How cool is that? If joint, neck, or back pain is holding you back, call Dr. Daniel Nelson at Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine and find out if stem cell therapy may be right for you. Dr. Dan here is the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. Call Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's 425-823-4000 or danielnelsonmd.com.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and And the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
See country star Aaron Lewis and the State Liners at Muckleshoot Casino Resort, March 24th at 8 p.m. And now an added show on March 25th. He's a multi-platinum artist whose raw lyrics and powerhouse vocals have captivated fans for decades. Now he and his band, the State Liners, are coming to Muckleshoot Casino Resort. Get your tickets now to see Aaron Lewis at muckleshootcasino.com.
We've got a surefire way for you to feel lucky this St. Paddy's Day. Get a saltwater hot spring spa from Olympic Hot Tub. Take advantage of big savings and get 5 years to pay for it, interest-free. But hurry, this deal ends St. Patrick's Day. OlympicHotTub.com.
Research shows a correlation between daylight saving time and increased car accidents. If you're in a car accident, call CAR. Herald Car Law offices will handle the insurance so you can recover. Go to carlaw.com. That's CARR. Car accident? Call CAR.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
If your home is 20 years old or more, it might be time to have your roof inspected. Your roof is your home's first line of defense, and at Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, we'll help it last as long as possible. Our trained and licensed crew will evaluate your roof, repairing when we can, and offering replacement options only when necessary. Plus, every new install comes protected with a full year of free maintenance on us. Visit GuardianRoofing.com today.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
John Curley here. Last year was one of the hottest on record. Did you know a heat pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you efficient heating and cooling year-round for the price of paying for air conditioning? Don't wait. Call the comfort people. Home Comfort Alliance. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour. Your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump says he will tap the U.S.'s Strategic Petroleum Reserve to lower oil and gas prices, which have risen due to the U.S.-Israel war with Iran. More from CBS's Linda Kenyon.
Speaking in Hebron, Kentucky, the president said the U.S. military has made great strides against Iran less than 2 weeks into the war.
They no longer have radar. They don't have anti-aircraft equipment. They don't have anything.
And Trump describes higher oil prices due to the war as a short-term excursion. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The Department of Energy says in a social media post it will release 172 million barrels from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve beginning next week. President Trump says that the U.S. must finish the job in Iran after suggesting the war could be over soon because Washington had run out of targets. Democratic Congressman Adam Smith of Washington is the ranking member of the House Armed Services Committee.
I don't think it's going great. There's sort of three ways of looking at it. One is, how are we doing at degrading Iran's ability to wage war and with their missile capacity, their drone capacity? There, I think, we're making some solid progress. We don't have specific numbers on it.
Lawmakers in Washington are raising questions about how long the war with Iran could last. The Pentagon tells Congress the first week of the Iran war cost the U.S. $11.3 billion. CBS's Torian Small reports.
The cost of this gives a lot of Republicans pause of this prolonged war. And then also, again, it's accountability and oversight that we're hearing from lawmakers really on both sides of the aisle here.
A 1,300-pound NASA probe re-entered Earth's atmosphere today, nearly 14 years after it was launched. Marlon Surge, a satellite expert with the Aerospace Corporation, says there's little to worry about.
The risk is extremely small for getting hit by anything. The world is big. Where it's coming back is mostly over ocean. And honestly, if I knew that a satellite was coming back near where I was, I would be more likely to go outside so I could watch it.
The Department of Homeland Security has reinstated the Global Entry Program. CBS's Michael Wallace with that.
DHS had suspended the expedited customs clearance and TSA pre-check for pre-approved travelers on February 22nd, citing the partial government shutdown. During the suspension, some travelers had to wait for more than an hour. Lines could still be long at security checkpoints as more TSA agents unwilling to work without pay call out sick or quit.
Arizona State says it will not renew Coach Bobby Hurley's contract after 11 up-and-down seasons. This is CBS News.
Every Sunday, moderator Margaret Brennan goes face-to-face with top leaders to make you better informed. Face the Nation, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Measles cases are rising at an alarming rate in our state. More on that coming up. But first, let's check in with Lori and get a check on our real-time traffic.
North 5 express lanes, the off-ramp to Lake City Way. Look out for an accident. It's partly blocking that ramp. Seattle to Everett, we're looking at an hour. Bellevue to Everett, an hour, 3 minutes. And Bellevue to Federal Way, we're looking at an hour, 15 minutes now. Seattle to Tacoma is an hour and 20 minutes. We have an accident eastbound 512 before Portland Avenue in the left lane. I-705 at I-5, an accident in the left lane. And both directions of I-5, very heavy past Joint Base Lewis McCord. Heading over the mountain passes. Chains required, both 90 and 20, but westbound 90 is still closed. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Nate Connors. Washington has already logged 26 cases of measles this year. In all of last year, there were only 12. Dr. Alex Greninger with UW Medicine says most of this year's cases are in school children.
Vaccination coverage is still too low. We're below the median level in the United States. We're below the level that creates herd immunity.
UW Medicine will soon offer in-house measles testing, which will mean results will come back quicker. There is a concern that measles will spread quickly later this year when big crowds of tourists arrive for events, including the World Cup. Iran is pulling out of the 2026 World Cup match plan for Seattle. According to the Seattle Times, the country's sports minister cites regional military tensions and uncertain security conditions. Police in Tacoma say they have arrested a man accused of setting fire to dozens of trees on private property within just 16 hours. KIRO 7 spoke with a witness who helped extinguish one of those blazes.
The time it took me to get the fire extinguisher, like 3 more of the trees were gone. Like it took seconds.
The suspect now faces arson and felony harassment charges. Well, the heavy snow on the mountain is good news for skiers and snowboarders. KIRO 7's Ranji Sinha caught up with a snowboarder from Utah.
Why not stay in Salt Lake City? You have good skiing and snowboarding there.
Yeah, the snow's been really bad across a lot of the West, so we wanted to come chase this snowstorm because this could be the final good series of snowstorms for the season.
For snowboarders, it's welcome. Drivers, not so much.
And now let's get a check on your weather. Stormy weather is lining up across western Washington. Along with mountain blizzard conditions, it's going to get windy overnight. University of Washington Atmospheric Sciences professor Cliff Mass tells the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red 770, winds in the central Puget Sound area could hit 40 to 45 miles an hour, leading to scattered power outages.
There'll be stronger winds in the Strait of Juan de Fuca. As a low center moves past us, I expect winds to surge from the west through the strait, and winds could get up to 60, 65 miles per hour there. So that's a little bit more serious.
He says atmospheric rivers are moving in too, bringing the heaviest rain from Seattle to the south. 48 right now, light rain, and it's getting pretty windy out there in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Hi, you've reached the John Curley Show listener introduction line. Please tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy the show. Thank you.
Hi, this is Dennis from Seattle.
Oh, good.
From my understanding, the governor said if the bill reaches his desk, he will sign it.
Yes.
But I'm wondering if he's going to have a change of heart. Now, look.
Yes.
Think about it.
Yes.
If you were the governor, would you sign it? Can you imagine?
I just leave you hanging there.
That's what I love about
He
Dennis.
asks the questions no one can answer.
Can you imagine?
He's like the magic 8-ball.
Yes, he is.
Check back later.
Unclear.
Unclear at this point. The answer is definitely yes. Time to get in the news. We're the only show that actually the host of the show electrocutes himself occasionally.
Oh,
when in need. So Joe has put this together. Was it more than 24? Close to 24 hours they debated.
I think a little over, yeah.
What happened was the Republicans are like, they just kept adding amendment after amendment, and then they would do the procedural roll call where each person had to be, aye, no, nay, blah, blah. Each one slowing it down, just kind of dragging them out. I think they knew it was coming.
Right.
But it's just like, let's just make it as painful for them as possible.
And before you get started, Andrew and I were having this conversation after the show, so they know how it's going to end.
Yeah,
they're going to pass.
What they get about 8 Democrats that
I think 6.
Okay,
I think maybe 8.
Okay.
What is the point of the 24 hours, the amendments? Is it just to make it a little more uncomfortable?
Fly in the ointment?
Yeah,
possibly. They did have a couple amendments that they were doing some fun tricks with some of the amendments, like let's make them show all their hands and ask for even more money, or can you strike this thing? And one of the amendments was that this thing does not go into effect until we get a basketball team or something like that. It's like, yeah, I guess they just wanted to make sure they went on record as the hours kept going, and then just make them stay up.
Yeah, but they have to suffer too. I mean,
yeah. Brandy Cruz went down there, and she goes to get a seat, and they don't have a seat. The Seattle Times, there's normally 4 seats there. I think it was in the Senate, in the House, but the Seattle Times had 2 or 3 of the seats. Plus, they had an intern sitting there, so she wasn't able to sit down. It's like screw her, and Brandy in there. All righty, so at approximately 5:30 p.m. last night, after 24 hours of debate on the House floor, Washington's first income tax in over 100 years has passed into law and will be signed by Bob Ferguson.
Senate Bill 6346, as amended by the House, is declared passed.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I don't believe this.
Well, it's going to get challenged in court right away. They're going to go to court. And it doesn't go into effect. I don't think they start stealing your money, more of your money, until, 2028? I think that's when the thievery begins, in order to pay off the unions that gave the money so they could have those lawmakers carrying the water for them. And that's what they end up with. So, here's a quote for you. See who said this. It's impossible to bargain collectively with government. Who said that? Was Newt Gingrich, Rand Paul, Ronald Reagan? It turns out it was FDR. Because FDR said, it's really not fair. Workers will go before a judge or to the boss and collectively bargain because they want to get a piece of that profit, right? The factory's making X amount of dollars. We're responsible for it. We're producing this amount of money, and we're working all these hours. Collectively, you got to pay each one of us $10 an hour, 12, whatever. You're going to get a piece of the profit. But there is no profit in government. And FDR said that he didn't think it was the best move, that the government collective bargaining means voters do not have the final say to the public policy. Instead, the elected officials, the unions. And that's not fair, because if you think about it this way, so you get the unions that are sitting down across from the representative that they helped elect, and they are bargaining for your money, but you're not at the table. You're not there. They're just trying to figure out, okay, so here's the union guy looks across at the other person and says, now we gave you the money to get you elected, and you're in this job only because we gave you the money. And now in return, we want X amount of dollars. We want this, and we want you to be able to write laws to stop competition from coming in. And the elected official is sitting there going, oh, well, I'll see what I can do. What do you mean, see what you can do? They paid for you. They bought and paid you to have the position you have. And now what they want is their pound of flesh, and you're going to return it to them. So that's exactly what they did. Because collective bargaining, the taxpayer, the guy that should be at the table, is not. Because the other person on the other side of the table is really sitting on the same side of the table as the union representative.
This is not a tax on millionaires. This is a tax on all of us. It's just a matter of when.
I'm deeply concerned that by changing our traditions and changing our taxes and changing our culture, we are going to chase the next revolution away.
Yeah, I guess they don't see that necessarily. The size of the Washington state government has increased, 40% in 2 years or something like that? It just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It never gets smaller. It just keeps getting bigger because we want to add more and more people to the gigantic hammock of support. Because let's face it, the more people you can get dependent upon you, the more likely they are to vote for you. My kids would vote for me as president of the House when they were little because I was providing them with everything they needed. They're never going to vote me out. I took care of everything. And we're going to feed every single kid in the state of Washington. It's not free. It's not a free lunch because if it's free, somehow magically it's appearing. And now we're going to give all this money to the schools. And then part of it is also going to go to the people that don't make enough money. They're going to get some additional money, and then some money here and money there. What they really don't understand is they do a static analysis. There's a static analysis and a dynamic analysis. Static, just like it sounds, is the fact that they're assuming no change of behavior. We come along and we whack you over the back of the head with a piece of wood. We're assuming you're going to stand there while we keep whacking you in the back of the head. Well, no, that's a static analysis. Dynamic is if we raise taxes and will people leave, it's much harder for them to do a dynamic analysis. So their dynamic analysis is nothing. Their static analysis is $4.3 billion I think they're going to get? Something like that from all these magical millionaires that are going to just stay in their houses. Ultimately, the fair share contingent had their wish.
We are asking the 21,000 wealthiest Washingtonians, that's 0.25% of Washingtonians, who are doing the very best financially of any of us, who currently pay far less to support our shared needs than the poorest among us do to chip in.
Let's take somebody that makes, let's just take I've done this analogy a million times. Bear with me. Think of a church for a moment. We're talking about federal taxes. So if you want to collect 100% of all the taxes and you have 100 pews, how many pews do you have to go down till you get 70% of what you need? You got 100 pews. 100 pews. And you start at the front. 1, 2, 3. You're working backwards. 3, 4, 5. How many pews do you get? 7? So the basket is 70% full. Anyone? Joe, you know the answer? It's a church. Imagine a church. You go to the front of the church. You're trying to fill the basket with 100%. All the money you need. You need 100% in the basket. You start at the first pew. You're walking backwards. You hand the basket down. You're going to go pew 1, right? And then you go to the next pew, you're going backwards. From the first pew, how many pews do you get to the back of the church to get to 70% of the basket full?
How much is each pew contributing?
Just assume you're getting, it doesn't matter how many, what you're getting from each pew, just how many pews, assuming some are giving more, some are giving less.
I don't know.
The answer is 10. You go to your first 10 pews and you get 70% of all the money you need to run the federal government. So when this guy mentions, whoever this is Peterson, talking about the rich people, right? And they're not paying their fair share. You're going to get 10%. The top 10% of all wage earners in the United States pay 70% of every federal dollar collected. 70%. So this guy's like, yeah, we're not paying their fair share in the state of Washington. Believe me, they're paying their fair share back into Washington, D.C. If they're paying like 34% or 37%, if they got some write-offs and stuff. But in the state of Washington, you're right. We have a sales tax, and that's the way it goes.
So we are asking the 21,000 wealthiest Washingtonians, that's 0.25% of Washingtonians, who are doing the very best financially of any of us.
How'd they do that? How'd they do so well? How'd they do so well? Did they work hard? Just like pop out of the sky, just land in their lap somehow? Did they work hard? Did they risk something? Did they risk capital? Did they work 80 hours a week and in return they get their money?
Who currently pay far less to support our shared needs than the poorest among us do to chip in.
As a percentage, yes, as a percentage. So the poor person is paying like 13% of their entire income because of sales taxes, which are so incredibly high. You don't ever reduce those sales taxes. You just continue to get the government bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I don't think they've had a sales tax cut since like 84 or something like that. If you really wanted to help out, why don't you reduce the size of government? Why don't you just start to do it? Why don't you cut a bunch of programs? Why don't you lay some people off? Then it doesn't get so big. Then you don't need as much money. All right, last part.
It's going to help feed our people. It's going
to feed our people. That's the government's job, is to feed its people. It was this being translated from Russian?
It's going to help feed our people. It's going to provide behavioral health. It's going to fill the gaps.
The gaps, right. Okay, fine. It's amazing. Here's what will happen. The government will continue to increase in size. The unions will continue to pay money to get lawmakers to write the laws that benefit them. The rich people that are able to leave will leave. Goodbye, Mr. Schultz. The rest of us will stand around and wait for it to go from $500,000. Don't forget, this is not a millionaire's tax. This is a household tax. So Bobby Bag of Donuts and Susie Bag of Donuts all live in the house together, and together they make more than $1 million. The government feels that they need your money. They're going to take your money from you by force. The rest of us are going to stand around and wait till it comes after the rest of us. And then they keep lowering it because don't forget, they're doing a static analysis. They're assuming no behavioral change from those 2,100 people or whatever that guy said they're out there. They will either earn less money, leave the state, make some sort of changes so the state can't get it. And then the state will say, geez, well, look at this. We've got all these programs. We promised all these union members. We promised all these people that paid for us to have our positions. So we have to come up with this money somehow, or that the union's not going to give us the money and I'm going to lose my job. And I'm not going to be able to go to Olympia and act like a big deal and take money from people who don't deserve it. So what they'll do is they'll just drop the tax rate down. They keep coming down, and then finally it'll be like to this and 250, and they'll just keep adjusting it until finally they can sweep in more and more money. And then, everybody's paying. So if 90% of the people pay for 10% of the people, or 50% of the people pay for other 50% of the people, and eventually 100% of the people are paying for 100% of the people, and everyone is contributing to the good of the government, which gets larger and larger and larger, and continues to have, 40% of the kids can read or do math, but we'll still pay $20,000 for each child to be poorly educated in the state of Washington. And more money will go to superintendents that are making $450,000 a year as they run really crappy schools that don't educate the children, and the kids are left basically, almost functionally illiterate. But we send them out into the world, which creates another gap, because then we got to create some program to help pay for them because they're not coming along because we didn't get the education, because we were too concerned about pronouns or some other garbage. But this is where the state of Washington is. And the most amazing thing to me is people elected these people. Somebody said, yeah, I want to elect that person. I guess because maybe you feel like I'll elect that person because they won't tax me, they'll tax somebody else. Or they'll create this Marxist dynamic where it's the oppressed oppressor, and the person's going to rise up and fight the great oppressor. It's remarkable, the people that vote these people in. I hope there's some folks that are going, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. Like Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, right? You make the monster, and then all of a sudden the monster, you're trying to make something that's beautiful. And that's why they put a blazer on him. And then all of a sudden he rises up and starts killing people. It's like, you put these people in. What do you expect? Of course the government's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And every time it gets bigger, you get smaller. Less freedom, less choice. Where your money goes, they'll make the determination. So it's over. Done. Right? It's going to go to court because the Supreme Court will have an opportunity to also pay off the people that put them in there. As long as there's dollars in politics, the individual that doesn't pay, and this is a Republican and Democrat, if you look how lobbyists and money influence the direction of the law, the direction of the policies that have come up. These individuals are bought and sold. 100%. Look at it. And this is Republican and Democrat. I used to get into arguments with Tom all the time about we the people. He says, well, yeah, we the people. We are the government. And I was like, no, I don't think that's true. And I spent 1, 2, 3, 4 weekends searching. And finally, I found a really interesting study. They took 10 laws that had been passed, and they found the public opinion on the 10 laws. And most of the time, the public was either in favor or disfavor of the law. But then when the lobbyists came in, out of 7 out of the 10, the lobbyists were able to get the law passed, even though the people disagreed with the law. Because money talks. Money. Follow the money. Who's going to get part of the millionaire tax? How does it help the individual? Every single person is always operating in their own self-interest. So those people that were applauding last night, here they go.
Senate Bill 6346, as amended by the House.
They will applaud for their own self-interest because the people that gave them the money so that they could go to Olympia, so they could pass laws that could benefit the people that gave them the money. Here come the applause.
Is declared passed.
My own self-interest. Thank you. Because I plan on running again. Because I couldn't get another job where somebody would respect me anywhere else in the private sector. So I'll take my $38,000 or my $42,000. I'll go down to Olympia and I'll throw my weight around and make everybody feel like I'm doing something important for everybody else. It's pathetic. Just pathetic. I hope they get their heads handed to them in court. I hope the Washington Supreme Court holds up the 1937 ruling that says property is income and income is property, and goodbye for the 11th time the state of Washington avoids the income tax. But it certainly doesn't seem to be heading that way. Here's Lori checking traffic.
Pretty heavy traffic. Seattle to Linwood right now, 47 minutes. If you're heading from Bellevue to Everett, it's an hour, 4 minutes, an hour and 8 minutes, Bellevue to Federal Way. Now, if you're heading to Tacoma from Seattle, you're going to see some really big slowdowns southbound I-5. It's an hour and 14 minutes. Looks like the accident 512 before Portland Avenue is still in the left lane. Westbound 16 slows into Gig Harbor, actually from the west end of the bridge. Westbound 90 has reopened, and so both directions of 90. Traction tires are advised, and if you're on US 2, chains are required. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Bring your visions to life with Smart Business Buying.
buying tools and technology from Amazon Business. From fast, free shipping to in-depth buying insights and automated purchase approvals, we deliver everything you need to achieve your goals. Go to AmazonBusiness.com for support.
Here's a tale of Tina searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till Good RX wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags in a red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart. Delivered
to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
I put it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
Save $10 on a pair of Rain-X Latitude wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Our professional parts people will even install them for free.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. March is an exciting time to be in the garden, especially if you'd love to be growing your own delicious fruit or berries. Hi, I'm Gabby, veggie, herb, and strawberry buyer here at Sky Nursery. This month only, we have a wide variety of Northwest-grown bare root strawberry bundles, a great way to save a lot of money on planting your own berry patch. We also have tons of blueberries, raspberries, and kiwi, as well as persimmon, fig, plum trees, and more. Come on into Sky, because there's nothing like the taste of your very first fruit that you grew yourself. Visit skynursery.com.
Well, this week's First Mark Challenge victory goes to Brandy Cruz. Hey, Brandy, why? Why First Mark Insurance?
Service. I wondered for a second whether I was getting the VIP treatment, and I kind of asked, hey, is this what you do for everyone? And they're like, of course. The whole First Mark Challenge is meant to be personal, right? So it really is tailored and meant to be a personal experience for every single person. I will say I've just done whatever is the quickest and cheapest type of insurance, and I realized while I was doing it, wow, this is what it feels like to get insurance as a real adult. We had a million questions, and they walked us through every step of the process, and then they're working for you. So they're not working for insurance companies, they're working for you. To experience that level of service really shows you what the difference is with First Mark.
Brandy did it. My family did it. You got to do it. It's totally free. Take the First Mark Challenge. See how much money they can save you and how much better your coverage will get. Maybe you will be our next First Mark Challenge victory. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Hey, you. Yes, you. Listening to me with your earbuds up on the roof? It's not worth it. Jake Skorheim here. Valentine Roofing is giving everyone 1 year of free roof maintenance when you purchase a new roof this month. That's professional care keeping you safely on the ground. And with flexible financing available and payments as low as $159 a month, Valentine sure makes it easy. So stay off your roof. Instead, call 206 Roofing and schedule your free estimate. Then reserve your spot on their spring schedule. Call 206 Roofing today.
Welcome to this week's Puget Sound Express Whale Report. It's gray whale season in the Salish Sea when migrating gray whales make a pit stop in Puget Sound to feed before resuming their journey to Alaska. The team from Puget Sound Express report that there are 9 grays currently in the area, including some new unidentified grays that naturalists are eager to learn more about. Gray whales come to the area to feed on ghost shrimp and are the only bottom-feeding whale we know of, scooping up shrimp in the shallow waters near Whidbey Island. Family-run Puget Sound Express offers daily guaranteed gray whale tours departing from Edmonds and Port Townsend to see these gentle giants. And although grays are the focus of the tours, Biggs orcas are also in the area. Puget Sound Express tours are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. They guarantee you'll see whales or your next trip is absolutely free. Book online at PugetSoundExpress.com. Schedule your tour today at PugetSoundExpress.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening, I'm Nate Connors. As the mountains deal with a blizzard, we'll be getting heavy wind and rain here in the lowlands. Puget Sound Energy's Melanie Kuhn tells KIRO 7 they're ready to deal with the power outages.
So we've been monitoring the weather, and we're ready to respond throughout our service area, which is most of Western Washington.
She says make sure you've got flashlights with extra batteries, plenty of food and water, warm clothing, and a fully charged phone. The 62-year-old gym teacher at Skykomish K-12, arrested on suspicion of sexually assaulting a student for 2 years, has now been officially charged. Daniel Bubar faces charges of second and third degree child rape and 1 count of communication with a minor for immoral purposes. According to court documents, they say the suspect engaged as a horrific abuse of power when he was supposed to be mentoring and offering guidance to the victim who suffered a trauma at a previous school. Prosecutors say the suspect admitted to having sexual contact with the victim at least 20 times when she was 13 and 14. The victim told investigators school staff and students reported their concerns to school office staff, but the alleged abuse continued, according to court documents. Bubar being held on $750,000 bail and is scheduled to be arraigned Monday morning. WashDOT says the northbound 99 First Avenue South Bridge in Seattle will stay closed through Friday night for temporary emergency repairs. KIRO 7's Paula Tristan Aruda has more.
The work was supposed to wrap up tonight, but WashDOT crews say cracks in the steel deck grates that were originally found last month, they're worse than they thought. This is phase 1 of the fix to stabilize the bridge.
Drivers should continue using signed detours and expect traffic delays. An effort to keep cats warm may have started a fire in Monroe this morning.
One person was trapped inside the home along Chain Lake Drive. A neighbor grabbed a ladder and the person was able to climb out. They suffered smoke inhalation and they got cut by broken glass. The homeowner told crews an electric blanket had been used on a covered patio to keep cats warm. That was in the area where the fire is believed to have started. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
And at 5:33, let's check in with Lori at the busy real-time traffic desk.
Yes, a very busy commute. Seattle to Everett, an hour, 4 minutes. Bellevue to Bothell, a 14-minute slowdown. Bellevue to Federal Way, an hour and 6 minutes. Eastbound 512 before Portland Avenue, it looks like we still have an accident blocking the left lane. Seattle to Tacoma, pretty solid, really, southbound I-5 from about the Duwamish River curve all the way to 16. That's an hour, 14 minutes. And westbound 90, as Nate mentioned, is reopened, but both directions, traction tires are advised. A US 2 chains are required. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Corey. Lori, a stormy evening ahead for the region. Down here, a wind advisory and cold temperatures into the 30s overnight. The mountains, our blizzard warning goes into effect at 6 p.m. overnight with visibility down to less than a quarter mile. Up to 3 feet of snow by Thursday morning's commute. And as the winds pick up, it's warming up here in downtown Seattle. 52 and light rain. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
You want to hear Nate? God.
Epic pow pow.
There should be a show that you could pay extra to have the show run while the commercials are on. Isn't that Spanish? All right. I remained fairly calm to that, didn't I? I should say, listen, for people that are in the union, I get it. You know, you pay your union dues. You want the return. You're going to get the return, and that's what you get. But everybody else, you're going to be paying for it. And anybody who believes that this thing is not going to get everybody else, you're nuts. Crazy. They're going to come for everybody. Same thing, 1913. We got to pay off our war debt. We're going to set up an income tax. People are like, is that legal? Is that okay? Yeah, okay. Well, and it's only going to get like teeny tiny. It's only be like 3% for these people. Very, very few people will pay it. And all of a sudden, it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger as the government needed more and more money. And then it captured this person and that person. And then it was everybody gets it.
Wait till that 21,000 number gets cut in half in 12 months because of the great AI layoffs.
Yeah, that's Joe's theory. That a lot of the 21, is it 21,000?
21,000.
So again, Bobby Bag of Donuts and Susie Bag of Donuts, they make combined $1 million or more. So then you're saying if they're in the tech, I think, was it 20% of the people that are in this high income are in tech? You're saying when AI comes in and wipes a bunch of them out, they're gone. The money won't be there for them. And then, again, all the promises have already been made. Well, then where's the money going to come from? Because they're certainly not going to cut. You can't cut. We're going to get it somewhere. Don't tax me, tax the man behind the tree. Wilcox Family Farm Eggs. When it comes to family farm eggs and the ability to be able to spin the wheel, Teeny, you know what you do. Names of all the players are on the board. Aaron back on there, although he is not here. There is Lori's on the board as well, and so is Andrew. And, well, what do you know? It's Andrew. Andrew, your favorite Wilcox Frame Farm accuracy.
What is my favorite recipe for
What
today?
is it? That seems to be the question.
I like poached eggs.
Wow.
Vinegar and water. Boil it. Salt. 3 minutes. Covered.
Wow. Hold
After
on.
it froths.
Hold on. Okay.
Done.
Okay.
Eggs.
Thank you. There it is, Wilcox Frame Farm eggs. Tina appreciates that one. Leather-bound books sent to your house on an hourly basis. Are you really going to go back into the rabbit hole with more Epstein? Joe's not giving up on this one. New Mexico authorities have begun searching for the sprawling property of the Zorro Ranch that was formerly owned by Epstein. ABC now on it, but don't forget, we were one of the first.
3 decades after Jeffrey Epstein allegedly sexually assaulted underage girls at his New Mexico ranch, state investigators are searching the sprawling property, hunting for evidence.
This investigation is a crucial piece of trying to understand what happened at the ranch.
New Mexico authorities reopened their investigation after the release of the Epstein files, which include unsubstantiated allegations of murder and bodies buried on the ranch. The ranch was apparently never searched despite allegations by several women that they were abused by Epstein there when they were minors. Annie Farmer was 16 when she says Epstein assaulted her on the ranch in 1996. That summer of 96, Annie's sister Maria reported allegations of Epstein's sex abuse and child pornography to the FBI, but she says her tip was ignored. While state officials in New Mexico have reopened their investigation, sources tell us that DOJ has not launched any new expanded investigation regarding Epstein.
Aha.
Only 3 decades late, but I'm sure they'll find something.
Last night, a Kentucky Congressman, James Comer, told Jesse Walters that the DOJ ordered the New Mexico to stand down on their investigation of the Epstein Ranch in 2019, just before he was found dead.
I do know this. The federal government asked New Mexico to stop their investigation, I believe back in 2019 of that ranch. So there's just so many questions about how the government failed the victims and how government failed in trying to prosecute Epstein sooner. I mean, this whole thing doesn't make sense.
Congressman, you said in 2019 the government told New Mexico authorities to stand down investigating the ranch. Do you know what branch of the government?
It was the Department of Justice, I believe, and I believe it was because they I believe it perhaps was the Southern District of New York, because they had taken over the investigation at that point. So, again, these are questions that we have. We want to get the answers, but I will say publicly, I'm glad that the New Mexico authorities are on the ground searching that property.
Yeah.
Why? They're not going to find anything.
No. I think
by the way, this is
okay. Here we go.
Documented. He built a barn on that property, and they installed a industrial incinerator. And so as soon as it come 2009, when they realized that this guy was going to be investigated, he was tipped off by the administration that was in power, and he started getting rid of the evidence, tossing it in the old incinerator. Same with the island.
How about the fact that they ordered 330 gallons of industrial-grade sulfuric acid for the private island, right?
That's so incinerator on the ranch, sulfuric acid on the island. That's how you get rid of bodies that you don't want people digging up.
What finally happens to this story? There's never going to be a perp walk. All the guys, all the people that were named in the thing, nobody ever went in and no one's done any time.
Not in this country.
People have lost their jobs and lost standing. And in Canada, or in the UK, there's 2 individuals, right? The Prince Andrew, and then what's the other guy's name? Nicholson.
Yes, Nicholson. He was.
Yeah, he's got some problems. And then here, but no one other than people. Well, I'm sorry, I was in there, and I'm going to step down, or I'm going to move away from the board, or whatever. But nobody ends up going to court.
I thought late last week that the situation in Iran had basically wiped the story off the news cycle, and it really seemed like that if that was strategic, that it had worked. However, in the last couple of days, everything in my feeds and everywhere I'm reading, and you see ABC News and the Wall Street Journal, it's all coming back to the front page. So I am hopeful that things start to happen. and somebody is going to say, you know what, they're gonna be called to testify, and they're either if they don't die on the way to the courtroom, they will actually say what happened and just to clear their conscience and.
I was thinking about the young ladies. Can you imagine being sexually assaulted by some adult who's in some position of great power, and then you do go forward and tell somebody, and they just, oh yeah, we'll look into that, and they never do, and then you go back and you're just some kid. You don't know how the whole system works. Yeah, okay, yeah, we're gonna definitely look into that. Thanks for letting us know. And then you don't call, or maybe you do call. I mean, I know people that have, had to report stuff to the police and detectives, and they're like, we haven't heard from them in like 6 months. And then you call up, and then you finally get, oh, yeah, we're working on that.
Oh, yeah.
And then nobody ever does anything. So for these young women that were, sexually assaulted by these disgusting human beings that were involved, whether they're at the island or at the Zorro Ranch or wherever else they were, they're like, who do we turn to?
Right.
A total nightmare for them, because they just assume the person's just as corrupt as the person that, took them into some back room and did something to them.
Yeah, and it's like Eddie, the guy we talked to the other day, said his biggest mistake was allowing some victims to live, because they're still out there, and there's a lot of them that aren't.
Right.
They just disappeared.
So what happens is a few people that they know are kooks that make up a bunch of stuff, they throw them into the mix. So then they go, well, this person's just obviously insane. So then the rest of them kind of get soiled by the one person who comes in with just making wild allegations.
Well, here's what I think happens.
Oh, here we go. Andrew, one more time.
Think, again, this was an intricate system of blackmail. That blackmail is ineffective without evidence.
Yes.
Absolutely damning evidence.
Yes.
So I believe that evidence exists. At some point, somebody who has access to it is going to make that see the light of day, and then.
In the meantime, here's $5,000 for you to shop for furniture online while Jeffrey Epstein apparently hangs himself. All right, Lori's checking traffic. Lori.
Traffic is brought to you by the KIRO Newsradio App. South Center to Alderwood now, if you're heading 405, is an hour 14 minutes. I-5, an hour 19 minutes. Bellevue to Federal Way, down to an hour. That's good news. Seattle to Tacoma is an hour and 11 minutes. We're seeing a very heavy drive 16 into Gig Harbor. And, of course, both directions of I-90 now traction tires advised. Chains on US 2. Text app to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO Newsradio app. Listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
I used to run a whole bunch of races, 5Ks and 10Ks and half marathons and marathons. And then finally one day I realized my hip just getting worse and worse and worse. And I just stopped running. But it was a big part of my life. I'd run every single day. And I go to see this doctor thinking, well, he said, look, your running days are probably over. We'll have to give you a whole new hip. I was like, good Lord, is that really the case? I can't run anymore? No, you probably just ran the hip into the ground. We could give you a new hip. So I go to see Dr. Mark Wagner because I did a little bit of research. I knew that he had done 20,000 or so stem cell procedures. I knew that the stem cells were my own stem cells, and it's a 90-minute procedure. And I sent my MRI over there and my x-rays. And I walk in, and Wagner had already looked at them. And he goes, yeah, I've seen a lot of guys that have really done a lot of wear and tear on their joints. I've seen hips like this, just like yours. And it works. I was like, let's do it. Sign me up. And within, I would say, 4 weeks, I went out and ran my first 5K again. And it had been 7 years. Amazing. If you got a bad hip, shoulder, ankle, wrist, or knee, before surgery, drmarkwagnermd.com. drmarkwagnermd.com.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate, Greg Nunn from Nunn Better Tax Resolution. So, Greg, not all tax resolution companies are the same. There are some that are definitely not local. There are others that don't quite know what they're doing even.
Well, I tell you, these ads that all of us hear, Fresh Start program. They make you feel like, hey, man, I can just easy peasy get my taxes written off. No. And I've had several clients actually come to me after going through that process, and they just get no response after a while. They're passed around from person to person. That doesn't happen at my firm.
You are familiar with the cases that come in. You're working on them.
I'm familiar with every case that comes into our office. And I know what's going on and have the ability to really advise our taxpayers very well on what to do.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, then call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution, from stress to success with IRS Solutions. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
High five. Up top. Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Yeah! It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Heck yeah! He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread. Yes! The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Woo! For a limited time, now through March 29th, switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that could make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right, tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Charlie Harger here. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 206-210-1350. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be 6 figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Your new home is ready now. D.R. Horton, America's builder, has new construction communities across Puget Sound and Central Washington, with more coming. Find your new home at drhorton.com. America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
All right. Very short version. That's nice. Thank you. That's nicely done. We'll get the letter of the day first. Take care of all the rest. Joe.
Dennis in Seattle says, who in the world is Orville Nix? What in the heck is a motorcycle?
Thank you, Dennis, for that. Let's see. Jamestown in Eastlake says, hat hair, don't care.
That's right. Barbara in the 425 says, John, stop screaming. I don't care how thin-skinned your neck is or puffs of hair living on your head, no matter their genesis. Bring it down a notch. Now I have to ingest more Kickapoo juice to settle my vibes.
Wait a minute. Was I yelling?
That was early. I can't remember what about. But
okay.
Maybe.
Dwayne in the QFC says, good show today, guys. Thanks. And I love you. Good night. We got him back. Remember we lost him? We got him back?
That's right. Yes. Right. Tina in the 425 says, hopefully Andrew kept Nate's epic pow pow drop from the weather update. What the heck does epic pow pow mean?
Epic pow pow.
Carmen, the YouTube says, John's looking so much better with a tight beard.
That's right.
Oh.
Never shave again. Hee-Haw Aaron says, how many pews can a pew-pew-pew if a pew-pew could pew-pew?
Thank you, Paul. And T-Town says, realtor, not realtor.
That's right.
It's a Philadelphia thing. I'm sorry.
Dinah and Everett says, I love Cabby. I've been buying Cabby for over 18 years.
The income tax passed. Wayne in Milton says, I think you need to shock Curley again.
Robert in 206 says, John, Governor Bob Ferguson seems hell-bent on building the Texas economy. What the hell is wrong with him? I don't know.
I don't know. Jack and Buckley says it's an income tax, not a millionaire tax. That's right, Jack.
Right.
Good job.
Susan in Olympia said, John, there are times I don't agree with you, but this is not one of those times.
Oh, good.
During the S show, when everybody got $600 a week and even part-time people screwing over small businesses, and now we're paying. Apparently the concept, no free lunch ever. Anyone who disagrees with you is a moron.
That's not fair, Susie, but I appreciate you coming along. Mike in Commando Island says, more importantly, what food are they feeding our kids? Sugar and low-protein crap. Question mark?
Ader the 509 says, did Bobby Wonderful, meaning Ferguson, just show his commie stripes with the government school slip-up?
Government school? I said government school. He said public school. Andy from Granite Falls says, don't forget to mention that the food they serve is really bad food.
Jen in the 206 says, though I worked in education and know that hungry kids can't learn, I agree that restricting lunch could save. There's an admin cost to the process. Do you know what that would be?
Yeah, Mike in Renton, I'm skipping a few. Right now, Utah has a flat personal tax of 4.55. You might pay more state tax if you move to Utah.
Maybe. Scott in 360
Cost of living's lower.
That's true. Scott says they keep talking about the rich paying their fair share. That depends on your definition of fair. Is it fair the same percentage of income or the same for the services received?
There's got to be somebody in here that tells me I'm an idiot. Where are those? John, sometimes I agree with you. When I started my business, I put my house up. If I failed, I would lose everything, says 253.
Chica Latte says you better listen to your wife because she said, like she says on the commercial, she may be small, but her bark is only going to get louder. John Curley.
Okay, I don't know about that one. Dwayne back to QFC says because not all the money goes to the kids, that invisible middleman needs an income too. By the way, the audio video isn't in sync. Uh-oh.
Hope they fix that.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
Okay.
Andrew K says, all caps, by the way. Why is John so closed-minded about the elitist, pedophile, cannibalistic cabal? He's always been so open-minded. I don't get it. Come on, man.
I should be in favor of cannibal.
No. Just that it exists. By the way,
no, I agree that I give you that.
I was gonna say John is way more open-minded than he is on the air because he can't sound like a crazy person. Sometimes you sound like a crazy person talking about this stuff.
Protecting the illusion of sanity.
That's right.
Okay.
That's all she wrote.
All right. Again, serenity prayer for everybody.
That's right.
Or have your paddles out and electrocute yourself. Clear. All right. Okay. Here comes Lori checking traffic again for us. How's it looking?
Traffic is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Looking very heavy right now. Bellevue to Everett, an hour, 2 minutes. Seattle to Everett, an hour and 1 minute. And Bellevue to Federal Way, finally under an hour at 58 minutes. We're looking at an hour. Seattle to Tacoma, an hour, 11 minutes. 16, pretty heavy as you head into Gig Harbor. And, of course, if you're heading over the mountain passes, pretty tough conditions. Traction tires advised on Snoqualmie, and chains are required on Stevens Pass. Traffic is brought to you by Seattle Sports. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Remember that time we were driving through France and for some reason we didn't have GPS?
Oh, for some reason? That reason would be that you didn't plug your phone in because you didn't have a charger.
Yeah, because I let you borrow my phone so you could call your mother, and you're on the phone for like 30 minutes telling her where we are. But that aside, we didn't know we were going. We did fight a little bit because we didn't know where we were going.
I think that Longevity Medical Clinic is like the GPS for us. They tell us which turns to make. They tell us which directions to go, right?
They do. And now I feel like the two of us together have a clear path and we have more control over our own health care.
Right, exactly. So you don't have to get out of the car and try to find information somewhere. It's all right there. As you're aging, all the little sort of turns you have to make in order to be able to have lots of energy and to enjoy your life. So for as far as I'm concerned, Longevity Medical Clinic is our GPS. Do what Nick and I have done. Take a free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
What if you could have the most reliable Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? That's the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Just 5 years of fiber-powered Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to the devices that need them most. That finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. And that keeps you gaming in the fast lane, even when the whole family is banking on bandwidth. And here's the best part. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Hey, let's face it, a lot can change in 5 years. Kids grow taller, dreams grow bigger, but your Wi-Fi, it would stay reliable and the price would stay put. The Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Select plans only. Restrictions apply. Powered by fiber. Connected to the premises by coaxial cable. Actual speeds vary.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-793-9858. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-793-9858 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-793-9858 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-793-9858.
Aetna was there for me as I was going through a rough medical patch this year. I had peace of mind, which helped with my healing.
Those words from a real Aetna Medicare Advantage member speak to why U.S. News & World Report named us a best Medicare Advantage company. Because we show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when requested. We show up with the latest in online tools for easier access to healthcare. We show up for you. Because that's how healthier happens together. Member feedback has been edited for length and clarity.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
We've got a surefire way for you to feel lucky this St. Paddy's Day. Get a saltwater hot spring spa from Olympic Hot Tub. Take advantage of big savings and get 5 years to pay for it, interest-free. But hurry, this deal ends St. Patrick's Day. OlympicHotTub.com.
Rolling Stone calls Victor Wooten one of the 10 greatest